them shredding you. However, you came in a strange moment where Evelyn Stavanovich and Karelia Stavanovich had pretty much started arguing or going back and forth about missing children, which Karelia said they didn't have any of. You later learned by, well, just visually seeing it that she did indeed have a great deal of children. With this, Evelyn realized that she had to go against her better nature and get back involved with her pack. Due to this, she got a newly introduced werewolf, Zulika or Zulika. I think I'm gonna go with Zuleika, whatever. Zuleika it is. Uh, who was introduced or at least honored by Karelia and Evelyn as the Night Mother. You also go to the statue of the Night Mother, or rather Mother Night. I just say Night Mother because I like the name more. Seeing this, you realize that between the three of them, there are a few different stances. None of them seem too keen to give up any of their positions, as Corellia needs the children to be turned in order to continue the life of her pack. Zulika wants her, I guess, her mate returned, who is supposed to be the rightful heir to the throne of the werewolves. However, Corellia had Strahd throw him in prison for numerous reasons, and Evelyn doesn't care at all. She just wants the children freed. Uh, Going back to not killing you, Corellia realized you'd have some use in that she's looking for her sister, as she's too tired of dealing with all the dramatics to care anymore about who sits on what. So she has enacted a trial by combat where returning a male, Zulika's mate, will have both of them vying over who would take over, and the winner gets to decide the fate of the children. Uh, for Evelyn, this is less important as she just wants the children freed and has kind of segued into kind of an edging deal with her sister where finding their older sister would make all this manageable as the older sister would relieve Corellia of her faded position. You didn't really get a, or you really didn't discuss anything with them. So we'll pretty much just open with them kind of just bickering over what to do as the children kind of silently look on. You note they seem more demoralized than anything. They don't seem to be crying or anything, just kind of there in small cages. You definitely have the floor at this point.
Right now, are they just talking amongst themselves, or are they just looking at us?
They're looking at you pretty much, going from last session. They were waiting for you to make decisions and choose whether or not you're willing to do different things they were asking of you.
All right. Seeing that, I guess I kind of where am I? Okay, I step up a bit and not really breaking apart from the group. I kind of say looking towards both Corellia and oh, what's her name?
Evelyn.
Evelyn. Will will help find your missing sister, and looking towards Evelyn, we'll try to help them as well. Help
Noting
finding your sister will free them, right?
noting Evelyn's kind of mistrust of you, she shakes her head slowly. No, finding my sister won't free them. It'll just make this lazy bitch over here decide to step down. But I do miss her. At least somebody with sense, at least, could do something. You note Corellia kind of getting more annoyed.
Lady Evelyn, where's the last time have you seen your elder sister? Location in Rovio? Cities? Forest?
Shrugging, she just says, "The last time I saw my sister, she was running away from Castle Ravenloft towards Argynvosthold."
Um, how long was this? A
Longer
week
was that?
ago? Yeah. Go.
Shaking her head again, she says, "A couple of years, to be specific, when the bones were stolen."
Okay, that could be a problem.
Tell us a little bit about her, what she may have looked like in both forms, anything to help us
Yeah.
identify her when we see her.
Corellia, cutting in, just goes, "Ah, you fools don't know anything. Do you not know about the curse of the Stevanoviches? Geez, our older sister was the one cursed. She's not a werewolf. She's more or less a weremonkey. And, well, she's also a doctor. She was the one that helped Strahd figure out how to, more or less, get most of his experiments done after Kazan left. Her name is Ozelin. She's annoying, straightforward to the point. She can't stand us because, well, I suppose she thinks she's superior." You can see her shaking her head as Evelyn kind of cuts in. She doesn't think she's superior. She knows she's superior. But it's
Oh,
strange that she hasn't visited since father's death.
Look, I'm turning back. I look to Ben and says, so Ben, I believe you have one of her notes, don't you? The one that you found at August?
Yeah. Same ones where she was talking about transporting a subject. Rod's place to the knights at the Argynvost. She was definitely there. The place was empty. Have to maybe be in the surrounding area.
You can see both Stevanoviches just kind of shrugging as Corellia goes, "Well, if we knew that, then we wouldn't be looking for her." Tapping her foot almost with a bit of brevity, Corellia goes again, "You either help us or I'll eat one of you now. Your decision."
Uh,
Who what?
That check session chat. He was trying to ask questions.
Yes, of course, my lady. We will help you in the endeavors to find your sister.
looking towards Lucian, I kind of nod my head. You're right, I did.
You could see both Evelyn and Corellia peaked with interest towards Jotun. Evelyn just pointing out, "And where? Where did you see her? When?"
It was it was a long time ago, not too long, I guess, probably about a year. She saved my life actually, restored my arm.
Mm. You could see Evelyn kind of nodding. "Sounds like her." "Well," Corellia cutting in just goes, "That doesn't sound like her at all. She wouldn't have saved you, uh, demon thing. Hmm. You said she restored your arm. Anything
For
else?"
well, that was for Strahd.
Looking over at your arm, she kind of shakes her head. "What happened?"
Well, I'm not sure, but he asked about what was why were the something about a mark of Kovia.
You could see them look at each other. Both of them simultaneously just saying, "The bones." Hmm. "Do you know where the bones of Saint Markovia are?"
Um, last I can remember before everything dark, he just ripped the arms right off my body.
Looking back over towards Jotun and then back, both sisters kind of shaking their heads. Hmm. "Did Strahd know about the bones? Arms. they kind of get confused. What do your arms have to do with any of this?
I'm assuming the bones were in them.
You could see Corellia just kind of nodding and smiling. That sounds like her. Hide the bones in some random sucker. Hmm. Hmm. Well, she kind of just shrugs it off. No matter. If we could find her, we'll figure out the answers pretty quick. Uh, hmm. Looking back around, she kind of just looks over to you. That's all we really have. Get to it. I'm not really a fan of asking you, but as long as you're looking for her, I'll make sure none of the werewolves have any issues with you. But if you double cross us, well, you'll figure it out pretty quick. You could
Also,
see Evelyn kind of just shaking her head. My sister's a bit of a brute, but she means well, I guess. Please find our sister. She'll know what to do.
Lady Evelyn, would you s- would you come spare us some for to okay any way of mean to traveling towards Amber Temple English. Okay.
Evelyn kind of shaking her head and looking over to her sister. I don't have anything. However, you could see Corellia kind of rolling her eyes and looking up at the cave ceiling and back down. Why do you want to go to the Amber Temple?
On spot down. I was stuff to oh shit.
I had a bad experience with an assassin. Raped us in some kind of necrotic energy, and from what we heard, it could
Yes.
kill us in a few days. That's why we're trying to
Yes.
make the trek down there. Someone down there that
False
should be able to
lich
help us.
lich
Uh,
belief.
both of them kind of listening and being somewhat confused. You could see them both kind of just looking at each other and simultaneously going, the smell. Gross. Yeah, you've been cursed by a lich, which means you have to kill the lich in order to cure the curse. I guess if the lich is an Amber Temple, well, you have bigger problems than we do at the moment. Hmm.
Mm.
Kind of looking over, you could see Corellia smiling a bit. Hmm. There's no way to get to the Amber Temple without my help, and I need you to do something for me. Hmm. I guess that means, well, you kind of owe me your lives at this point. I kind of like that. Huh. With that, she just starts playing with her fingers and looking around as her sister kind of just slowly crosses her arms. Sister, just give them what they need so they can get this over with. I'm taking these children whether you like it or not. Corellia kind of stopping and kind of putting her arm out. You'll do no such thing. I'm keeping them until things get done the way I like them. So, looking back towards the rest of you, what exactly do you need?
Have a first a coat to keep us
Well,
insulated. So got it.
Mm, You'll need enchanted fur. Well, luckily I have a wolf who can do that for you. On the downside, well, uh, I don't really have any wolves around that I can kill and skin. You're gonna have to figure that part out yourself. However, the enchanting would be easy enough. You don't have any pelts on you, do you?
Uh,
Pretty sure someone group does.
I don't
I
have
think
well,
any.
not
I think I think
specifically,
I think
not
so. Yeah.
specifically werewolf pelts, but
You can see Corellia just kind of, yes, yes, out with it.
owlbear pelts.
Mm, that'll do. It's big enough to cut it into pieces. She just nods her head slowly. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Fine. Give me the pelts, or rather, don't even bother. I have something to take care of elsewhere. One of our little friends is, well, he's so intent on fighting back. Oh, I forgot all about him seeing you fools. Uh, go see. I imagine they're with Corwin, but go see one of my lieutenants. His name is Frederick. He'll deal with the rest. a druid by trade, if you would. He should be found in the East Cave.
Okay, so somewhere around down here, I believe. Okay, then. Thank you very much, Slaycorn.
Kind of just leering at you. She kind of nods. No, thank you. Remember, if I can't use you for anything, I will have to kill you, so please. And if you can, kind of just throwing her hand in front of Zuleika, you can always go to Ravenloft and figure out where Emil went to. Although I have to say, if he comes back, we do have to, fight to the death. Somewhat looking forward to it, albeit I don't want to get my hair messy, so perhaps in the future I'll use one of you as my champion and you can fight in my honor. Instead, I guess.
I see. Well then, shall I carry on? Not waste time further. Uh, fast. The party has a question to ask for.
Shaking my head, I'll just look over to Pilgrim. Any word on your sister? Looking down at her.
No, but again, that would require us. What I know, it would require us to head somewhere we're not really prepared for.
I need to ask
Something
before
that
we
I
leave.
plan to fix.
Was your sister, Oslin, was she the type to stay where she was told? If someone told her to stay in a certain place, would she keep to that? Or was she more of a free spirit?
Both of the sisters looking at each other and then looking back towards Bennett. You could see Evelyn shaking her head. Our sister did what she wanted when she wanted it. Uh, I don't know of anyone she would listen to. However, there were talks or rumors about her not being loyal to Strahd in favor of a group or a faction of some sort. True heroes of Barovia and all that nonsense. The rest of us trying to survive all day, and she's off, I guess, playing hero.
Would
I
that
don't know.
would that faction be the Knights of Argynvost?
You could see Carilla is shaking her head. No, by that time they were nothing more than shambles. Argynvost had been long dead. Stealing the bones of Argynvost and St. Markovia. There's not many groups I can think of that she would have done that for. Whatever the answers are, you'd find it in Argynvost. I'm not going there, but you can. Oh shit, what is that?
Yeah, I was about to say, just like, huh? The
Like it's, yo, what is that, yo?
I guess
Who was
the
what?
I guess the don't go back alarm is going off. Let me try to turn that one off.
Oh,
Also, another thing, Lady Curlian. Is there anything creature we be worried about in the Temple? Any creatures beside the Lich?
you could see them all kind of just look at each other and then look back as Evelyn just stares off of it. None of us have ever been there. I don't think anyone has. Getting there is, well, more difficult than seeing the inside. The things you would have to get through to go there are, well, no one goes to the Amber Temple. Not unless
I
they,
see.
well, I suppose the only person I can think of is Strahd's, uh, well, I guess, head servant or general.
I see.
Dean, am I incorrect?
You could see Carillia just kind of shiver a bit. Ah, don't say that name in my presence. Yes. Ah, that thing. He likes to go back and forth, supposedly, seeking out whatever gave Strahd power, trying to fix it. No one loves Strahd more than Rahadin. You could probably get more out of Corwin over that, since they're so close.
As she says this, Bennett's hand just kind of flexes a bit in place involuntarily. Right.
With that, Corellia just goes, "Well, lovely. Uh, pardon." As she kind of just moves past you up the stairs, she just turns back briefly. "I have a guest I need to interrogate. It seems, well, it seems the smaller the guests, the more annoying and troublesome they are. Anyway, I leave you to the other two fools, sister and well, our esteemed Zulika. Ugh.
Okay. So downward east.
Uh, what is Evelyn? She's just standing there, right? Evelyn.
Mm-hmm. You could see her kind of looking over the children as she kind of begins just walking slowly around the small wooden cages, looking at the locks and whatnot. Zulika kind of just following her, mothering just towards Zulika. You can hear just Evelyn go, "How could you have let her do this?" As Zulika simply shakes her head. "I am but a prisoner here. You know this as well as everyone else. The only reason I'm still alive is because I've been blessed or cursed. I make sure they're protected as well as I can, fed, clothed. I read them stories, but, well, where once there were 10, you can see how many are left. Two fought the other night, one survived, and then that man came. The, I don't know what it was. The small one, asking questions about the Colts."
Wait. Hearing that, I kind of walk forward a bit. You said a small man. Was he old? Was he? Did he? I then begin to start to describe how I guess a grandfather looks. Let me where? Uh, sorry about this. Where is he? There you go. Was he? Was he like short, like me? But not the same skin tone. Did he have like a beard? Does any recognition flash in their eyes and describing how Helmholtz looks?
You know, Zulika just kind of shaking her head. Uh, he was short with a beard, but he wasn't old. Well, I imagine he was middle aged. Uh, Seems to have quite an interest in the occult, thinking that perhaps we serve them, but, well, we serve only Strahd, it seems. As far as tone and whatnot, I imagine if I'm trying to, I can argue that you have somewhat similar features. However, that was not the person that we met that night.
Can you describe what he's wearing?
Turning back, Zulika says, "I can, yes. Will I? No. It has nothing to do with me.
Do you know
I,
where you went to?
where everyone else goes. First placed in the cage, and then placed on the, well, in the pit. Corellia decided to see how well he fought against children. She found it funny, since most of the children were taller than him. He refused to fight, and then, well, she decided to interrogate him, which is probably where she's went off with now, or gone off to."
Could we speak to him, or is that not our place?
She just shakes her head. "You have no power to do anything."
Right. Seeing that, I kind of nod my head and say, well, I guess we should go do what we were supposed to do here, and
Uh,
walk back towards the group.
mhm.
Seeing
Nodding,
so
Zulika just kind of goes back to what she's doing and then offers up, if you find a male, my mate, and return him, and have Strahd's blessing, or even without his blessing, what you seek would be much easier, as Corellia would not have the power she has currently. With
Evelyn said
that,
this, right?
no, Zulika said that. Evelyn is just looking at the children and worrying about them.
Okay.
With that, Zulika goes back to the pile of treasure before the statue and just kind of kneels before it and just closes her eyes and just waits there. Uh, Finishing speaking with the children, Evelyn just goes back over to you. Well, if this is all I can do now, I'm leaving. I'm going to head back to Valaki. Send word when you have made your decision, and I will return here with you. I hope you find my sister. I hope you find a meal. If not, I'm afraid my sister won't do anything you need her to do or want her to do. She's so very well set in her ways that she'll just waste her time, much like you did the first time I asked you to help. She kind of glares at you a bit. Now, if you'll excuse me, as she kind of moves around you and goes back up the steps, you could see her wrapping a cloak up around herself as she heads towards the exit. Adding before leaving, make some decisions, would you? It's always better to make choices than sitting around.
Very well then. Shall we head towards the druid?
Look, yeah, looking at Zardos, I'll just say, and do you know where the East Cave is? Shaking my head.
Hoping that I think it's going like coordinates of north. Have some down toward the right. Where Corin was. He was near, I believe, in this area. I believe last time we saw Corin. So yeah, let's go. Alright, that was right. I was off, but I was right. Okay.
As you approach the front area, you note the two young women. Well, the two women standing guard, spears in hands, kind of looking back at you. Noting no one with you, they both kind of just sneer. Will you be leaving now? One of the or the larger woman says.
We were told
Um,
by Lady Corellia that we were supposed to talk to one of the werewolves about getting an enchanted wolf's coat. Something to help us brave the cold of the south.
Fine, go around towards the east. You'll find them there, playing their games.
very much.
They don't respond as they kind of just watch you. As you approach the eastern cave area, you note a interesting sight as most of the the lead werewolf hunters surround Corwin. You note that he's with both hands up, just going, ah, I mean, I, I couldn't tell the story. I'm too sober. As the rest of them kind of hound him, you note that they seem more comfortable and relaxed than you've seen them before. Upon your approach, you can see them kind of sniffing the air and glaring back towards you as they slowly spread out. And Corwin kind of puts his arms down, looking towards you. Uh, Look who's here. What's going on, party crashers? Please,
Yeah.
please. They're guests of mine. Try not to, kill any of them. He says to the werewolves, kind of just looking you over. You could see them all intensely just kind of looking over your group. Uh, Minadora just kind of smiling blankly. Helena just not even bothering looking at you. Kessner just staring down, and Frederick and Lars just kind of glaring at you.
Stepping forward, Blake told us to inform Frederick, our friend, to help us enchant some wolf pelts. Lead us across the frost barrens of Temple.
You note Frederick kind of just looking back, surprised as the others look at him, also surprised. He just kind of glares at you as he kind of approaches. She said, "What? I'm gonna do what? For who?" Smelling the air, he goes, "Ah, you guys smell gross. I don't want to do that for you." You hear these guys as he kind of turns back, laughing towards the group. They kind of just return laughter and chuckle a bit. Minadora kind of just running up to the front, just kind of smiling at you uh, with her arms open. She just goes, "But hey, even though you smell like that, I'm sure we could bathe you and then eat you. Or maybe not eat you. I don't know. You guys seem okay. You seem a little weak, but okay. Frederick, maybe you should. If, well, if the mistress wants, she could come over here and force you to." You could see Frederick kind of cringing a bit. Corwin, what do you think? You could see Corwin kind of shaking his head. I mean, I already told him that it'd probably be a terrible idea to go towards Solanka Pass, but they're hard set on it. They're on a mission and all that stuff, like the legends say. Travelers in the mist and all that. You could see Frederick nodding. I remember that myself. Okay, what do you got? I'm not blessing any kind of werewolf fur, so you can forget about that. Not a big fan of sending you out wrapped in my own kind.
I'm gonna hand him.
We have our bear pelts.
You could see him kind of looking at kind of looking at the group irate. What do you mean our bear pelts?
The owlbears were dead when we found them. More berserker hunts. So we have them on us. That's what you're worried about.
Mm. He kind of looks back to Corwin. How much do you trust these guys? You know how I feel about the enchanted forest. You can see Corwin just kind of raise his hands. I don't trust them at all, to be honest with you. I imagine they're just gonna go ahead and either get me killed or themselves. It's your best bet. I'll tell you one thing though. They have a knack for getting things done when they try. And if Corellia is willing to, you know, give them this much leeway, I imagine she thinks they could solve a bit of a problem. You know, the one everybody wants to solve. You could see the group kind of just looking around slowly as Lars kind of just barks out, "Strahd, huh? Man, I could fight Strahd, but you think these chumps could kill him? I guess that's worth a try." But yeah, I guess. Come on, Frederick, go ahead. Give him that magic enchant. It's only gonna last for a day or two anyway. After that, they'll probably freeze to death unless the rocks get them. You could see Minadora kind of chuckle a bit. Rocks aren't that bad. I've eaten a few of them, although they don't taste like chicken. And Dunkov always said they taste like chicken. Huh. And again, if the rocks don't get them, then the rock might. And if he doesn't get them, then the dragon might. And if he doesn't get them, that spooky green stuff will. You could see them all turn to Minadora as Kestner just kind of whispers, "What green stuff? What are you talking about, Minadora?" You could see Minadora just shaking her head. Ah, don't worry about it. Just some memories. Huh. And with that, she kind of just goes to the wall and like crouches down as Frederick looks on. Fine, fine, fine. Give me what you got. You could see him pull a staff out from behind his back and kind of slam it into the ground. You know that to be a staff very similar to the Golthius staff that Bennett once had. except his is more of a rich, vibrant color of a fresh branch.
Good. I was looking hand towards the elbow pelt.
Isaiah, are you
Yeah.
still here?
Yes, it's just loud. Yes, give him the owlbear materials.
Okay. With that, you note him kind of laying out the pellets on the ground and then looking at the group. How many of there? One, two, three, four. I'm just gonna count 8. As he looks around, he notes the pelt. Mm. And then looking back, he just kind of notes, "There's enough here for about 6 of you. 2 of you are gonna have a bit of a problem. I imagine if you bundle close enough, you might have some luck, but it's gonna get you in a lot of trouble. But hey, whatever. It's your funeral." As he kind of slowly drags his staff over, you note leaves just kind of slowly coming off of the staff and falling upon the uh, the furs. You could wrap yourself in the furs, but it might be better if you. Oh snap! It might be better if you figure out a way to keep everybody warm. How you do that is up to you, but these have been enchanted. As long as you're wrapped in one of these, he points out 6 individual things he's created for you. You should be fine in the cold. I wouldn't sleep there though. There's not much could be done about that. You stay in that cold long enough, you'll manage to run out of enchantment. I'd say it gives you about a day of exposure, or lack thereof. After that, you're on your own, kids.
How large is it?
Notably, based on the amount you have of the pelts, the owlbear pelts you had about, I believe, 2, were large enough to make 6 fairly good cloaks.
Um, hmm,
Alright.
um, so, so Frederick, do you have any information about the spirit I heard of once before? Spiritual guardian?
Uh, you can see Frederick kind of with his staff slowly moving and looking around, which they're all around you. It's been a long time since they spoke out, though. What do you know of the guardians of this land?
Mm. There was a druid once in the up in North, I believe. She said about something about the Arabels. As shows arms, they're part of the spirit guardians.
He kind of just shrugs. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but well, this land before it was cursed, spirits kept it safe. The Zolf druid tribes in the south, they were pretty much pure or curators of the spirit. They lost touch with them though after the land was cursed by Strahd, lost their ability to wild shape as well. I myself, thankfully, was not a part of that. My lycanthropy is, well, not at all lycanthropy. I'm one of the only werewolves here that's not actually a werewolf. But they took me in. Corellia's father was quite kind to me. He saw what I can do for them. So I was always happy here to help. They speak to me in whispers, waiting for someone to collect all 3 of the, well, corruptions of this world.
Do they have to be round shaped stones?
You could see him kind of shake his head. No. What corrupts these lands aren't stones or anything of that nature. They're people, or at least they used to be.
Have they ever told you any descriptions about the whereabouts?
Whereabouts? Huh. You could see Corbin just kind of shaking his head as the other werewolves also kind of cutting in a bit. Corbin just goes, listen, this isn't exactly, you know, hard to guess at, but if all the corruption in the land started after Strahd was transformed, well, those closest to him would be the root of each part of his corruption. By proxy, you see. They're known as well, I guess you can call them a lot of things, but mother, maiden, and daughter, or hag, mistress, and child, the cores that rot our world. But don't worry about that. Those are just dreams, maybe nightmares, maybe both. Not really in your interest right now. You wouldn't do any good. Well, we already had a talk, but you're going to be bound to run into one of them sooner or later. And when you do, I'm going to miss you. Well, not really.
I see. Well then, if that's a question, anybody's question, or guess we should head out before the cloaks run out.
You could see Corin kind of looking back at the other werewolves and then looking towards you. Be it as it may, I've been offering you guys all this help. Interested to see what happens, but a little bit of warning. The places you want to go and see, they're not places you should go or see. You're going to find things you don't want to find. Some of you may die. That said, if you're following through, you're going to have some plans. Like I said, if you're going to die in a few days, you want to use those days real well. There's nothing much else I could help you with. Well, nothing much I care to help you with, at least. I feel like at the same time, you have to prove your worth. You told me once about some dreams you had about a woman, Ava, about things she told you. I take her a lot more seriously than, well, it looks like you've been taking her. That said, no matter the road, come back to me whenever you have any questions. I'll try to answer them until there's no reason for me to.
I see. Thank you very much. With that, I guess we head out. Unless everybody has something else to do. Ask question wise. No?
I got one last. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that. That was very messed up.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna kind of pipe up after Coleman said that and just look towards the other wolves. You guys were talking a lot about the Salanka Pass. If I have that name right. You guys have been there before? Or is this just rumors?
You can see all of them just turn to Minadora, who's crouching on the ground, playing with what looks like an ant. As she kind of pokes it around, as walks and crawls, she kind of just looks up. Oh, is it my time again? Ooh, that's fun. Mm. Kind of looking over and poking her, kind of just heart brand on her cheek. She looks towards Bennett. Well, silly mask man, if I were you, she kind of just leaps towards you all, kind of on all fours, just looking up. I'd stay away, but I'm kind of interested to see what happens if you come back. I've been there once when I was a little girl. I went on a trip with my father and my mother and my brothers. My whole family went there. My father used to take us there fishing. There's campsites all over Sri Lanka. Uh, this was before the Amber Temple was, well, quite amber and temple-y. Uh, I'm not really sure what that means, but, well, you see, one night when we were there camping, we heard a very loud sound, and I was scared, so I ran to my parents' tent and I hid with them. Overhead, there was a screeching noise, and well, when everything was said and done, I came to, and well, my family wasn't there anymore, and I was just kind of in the middle of, well, a frozen field. In the morning, the day before, everything was green grass and lovely, and afterwards, I was freezing. Literally, Hmm. Uh, I saw a giant bird in the sky. The men who came to save me, the guards from Valaki, they called it a rock, saying that something had happened and driven it mad. Uh, there was other things in the sky. The things you have to worry about the most, or at least what I've seen when I was escaping with the others, were, let's see, there's a dragon there. Except the dragon seemed to have a problem with the rock. There are also creatures that were born out of the temple. I wasn't really sure what was happening at the time, but looking back on it, something crawled out of that temple. And, well, whatever it controls, it has great control over other things. I'm not sure what is in the temple, though. I just know the stories about how Strahd used it to gain power and how an elf queen helped him do it. Um, but if you could get past a dragon and a giant bird that freezes everything, I imagine, well, getting the gates of that thing open is going to be really hard too. There are those creatures, the Vrox. They're kind of like bird demon things. Pretty scary. They fly around, they throw fireballs and all that cool stuff. Kind of like Lars does, except he spits them out of his mouth, which is way cooler, I think. Hmm. Anyway, I wouldn't suggest going there, but if you are, you could say hi to Khan for me.
And what about this green stuff you saw?
Oh, that. Well, once, right before the guards took me away, I managed to climb up the mountaintop. And at the top of the mountain is the temple. And there's this big gate. And it's always closed. But right beyond the gate, there was this massive green stuff coming out of the ground. It kind of looked like fire, but I've never seen green fire, so my little brain couldn't think about fire. So I don't know. It wasn't warm or anything, but it was just there. And I was looking through the flames, and I could almost see a woman just kind of staring back at me. But when the guards called my name and I looked back, she wasn't there anymore. Right beyond the gate, and that was it. Never went back. Never was allowed to. No one goes there now. The last I checked, those Valaki guards, they went, and, well, they were all killed.
I see.
That
Is any possible? My bad, Bennett.
said say hi to.
Oh, the dragon. Uh, they call him Khan, or her, or it. I don't know. I'm not very good with dragons. I've never met any, but I can hear them at night sometimes. You know, the old stories about how the four dragons guard over the Great One, all that stuff. But I don't know if it's true or not. But I know I saw it once. The gold dragon, or at least I found a scale. Mm, I don't know where I dropped it though. We had to leave fast.
And about these, you saw how you ate one of the rocks. Is there a way possible to defeat them? Strategies?
Sure. Um, to tell you the truth, she kind of looks around and then kind of leans in. I went back after becoming a werewolf, but don't tell the others. I found one of them, almost frozen to death, and decided, I'm kind of hungry, and just started chomping down. Best I can tell, uh, is that, well, they're not really all that strong on the ground, but in the air, well, I mean, I can't fly. She kind of just shrugs, smiling at you.
Mm. Strange. If they could, so they want to frozen to death then. So they're not mean to the frost then. You're saying that if you're able to freeze one of their wings or clip them, you're going to easily make them fall and attack them?
She just kind of looks at Zardos, confused. Uh, I guess. I don't know.
I see them. Thank you very much for the information. And another thing, what about these creatures that crawled out the temple? Have you ever faced them before?
Kind of poking herself in the cheek, she thinks about it. Well, the rocks came out of the temple, and then there was that lady, but I don't know anything about the lady. Uh, that was all I have, I think. Hmm. Let's see, giant bird, giant dragon, bird demon things, lady. She kind of shrugs. I guess that's it. But, well, I'd be careful if I were you.
I need to ask. This one's a bit off topic from our Amber Temple. You knew the gold dragon's name. You know the name of the other dragons?
You could see her kind of squat down playing with some rocks. Huh? Other dragons. Oh, yeah, the fairy tales. I used to love them when I was a kid. My mom used to tell me all about them. There's, hmm. She kind of just sits there scratching her nose. Mm, uh, mm, mm, mhm, mhm, mm. Well, there's the gold one. That's Khan. Uh, 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 hmm. My mom used to say, uh, uh, the controller of the sky, lightning, and all that stuff. The youngest of them all, or maybe the oldest. I don't remember much. Hmm. Was it young or old? Hmm. I don't know. There's the angry old one. Uh, that's a black ember, supposedly a red dragon. Then there's the blue and the green one. The blue one is, hmm. Actually, the blue one might be the youngest one. I don't know. I don't remember the blue
Voltaire.
one.
Voltaire,
She
I
kind
believe.
of looking back towards you. She kind of shakes her head, confused again. The who? What?
Voltaire, I believe that's the name.
She kind of just looks around and then thinks again. I don't know, but I know the green one is Alara. Only Alara is supposed to be like the mother of all the dragons, and she's this great earth dragon. Except I don't know if my mom always used to say she's just sleeping, waiting for a time to reclaim the land and stuff. That was a long time ago.
Looking at her, how do you spell Han's name? I'm interested.
You can see her poking at a rock as she kind of thinks, I don't know. I don't really do good with spelling things. I'm pretty good at killing things, though. She kind of gets up and goes back to the group. Hey, how do you spell gold dragon? You can see the group kind of just looking at her as Corwin just kind of slowly walks next to her. What do you mean, how do you spell gold dragon? What is she telling you?
No, I inquired her regarding the spelling of Han's name, the Gold Dragon.
Ah, gold dragon. Oh, she's telling you fairy tales. That sounds like Minadora. You could see Corwin slowly walk over to her and place his hand directly on her head and just kind of rub it gently as she kind of squats down and puts both her hands on her chest and just kind of smiles as he does it. That's very good, Minadora. You're helping them, huh? You could see her nodding. I am, I am. They were asking fun questions. What do you mean, gold dragon, Minadora? She kind of looks up. I saw a gold dragon when I was a little girl, and my mom used to tell me stories about him. The gold dragon's name is Khan, the lightning dragon. Corwin kind of nods. I remember those things. The stories, I guess. Uh, I don't recall. You could see Corwin just waiting and thinking, I guess it's Kon. They all have titles, though. I'm not sure what the title is.
And looking at Minadora, I was just nod and um random question. Do you know where I could acquire poison or any use for straw fruit outside of poison?
You could see Minadora kind of looking up at Corwin and looking back. No, I don't like that stuff. I got sick once trying to eat it, and then, well, the lady or the mistress had to punched me in the back of the head hard enough that I threw up. And I realized I shouldn't be eating stuff like that.
Very well, and thank you. As I'll just, I guess, back away towards Stilgrim. Looking at Sardos, did we decide on how we're splitting the pelts? Or the fur pelts?
I believe the casters would probably also share them to be grouped up in the back. The front lines who probably have each of their own.
Alright, then I guess we're on our way, right?
So it was decided that I'd kill children.
It's
work.
fine.
Taking this opportunity, I'm going to I guess ask the wolves. Do you know of a way to cut through the smog over the south in the ruins area?
Press?
I believe so. Yes.
You can see all of them just look slowly at each other and then back at you. You can see Minadora smiling towards Silkum. Actually, little girl, well, we just hold our breath. She kind of nods. We can do that for quite some time, really. And then if we really need some help, well, Frederick over here has a lot of spells that can do things. But nope, not really sure how you get rid of the smog. It's not really, well, I don't think it's natural. I think, she looks back up at Corwin. Can I say it? Corwin kind of nods. If you must. Minadora just kind of rubbing her hands together. I think she's causing it to keep people out and to invite others in.
Okay. Okay. Then if not to get rid of it, how does one travel into this like without being, I guess, harmed by the smog?
Corwin stopping his ow. Corwin stopping his petting. He just kind of looks pretty grim. Okay. As he
Hey, man.
as he looks on, he just kind of grimly says with not much of anything. Uh, the only way to stop the smog is to, well, give that old hag a reason to stop it, I guess. But knowing her, she'll just make it worse if she, well, you'll find out. You're so interested in going there, you might as well enjoy the whole thing on your own. You know, see for yourself why nobody goes there.
Nodding, I say, right. Okay. I have a lot of work to do then. I kind of just glance towards.
A question for Frederick, if possible.
You can see Frederick just looking. Yeah, whatever. Go ahead.
In chat.
Use action doesn't activate when it warned.
Frederick just kind of shakes his head. It activates when worn. That's the only way to stay warm. All it does is make sure that, well, the blood in your veins doesn't freeze. So make sure you keep the cloaks on, because if anything happens to them, you're dead. Well, you're dead in a few hours, maybe minutes. It depends on how deep you go. Anything past that bridge and up that mountain towards the temple, yeah, it's only a few minutes. Just be warned. Those things that Minadora was talking about. If they see you wearing anything warm, oh, they'll make a big deal of it. Oh shit. Mm. Corwin just kind of agreeing. Yeah, you're going to want to keep yourselves well protected, armed to the teeth. Be smart about things. Look around. Make sure you're not walking into ambushes. Honestly, that place is a war zone. I'm not really sure what's in there, but I'm sure about one thing. There's hundreds of dead guards littering the place.
You mentioned about caves before. Could you put that in a map somewhere? We could like um, I, rest up for a bit in there. Not rest up, but like shelter and defend ourselves.
You could just see her looking confused and shrugging. I don't want to do that. How do you do that? I don't know where they are. Hmm. You're just gonna have to look for them, I guess. That's what I did.
See
You can
them.
see Corwin kind of nodding. Yeah, she's probably not the best person to ask to look at maps. Minotaur is really good at a few things, and that's not one of them. You can see her happily nodding. Yep. Corwin knows.
Awesome. Give them the map. Good job. Inform us where the location are.
Corwin just kind of looks at you. Why would I know? Never been there.
Okay, I see them. My bad. Well, I guess that's all the questions. We guess it's going right now. Well, is that all for my first question, or if not, guess we head out.
Looking
Yeah,
at
just
the
follow behind.
Okay, looking at the party, Corwin just kind of stretches. Well, enjoy yourselves. I guess I'll be here until tomorrow morning. I'm due back at Kretsk to help with some shipments of wine, but I have business here. Someone has to well, figure out what Strahd needs or what his current plans are. Anyway, be careful and bring my wagon back in one piece, would you? And with that, you are venturing out of the den towards the cardigan, correct?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna head back out to the party table. And we are right here.
What time of day is it?
Uh, Taking up about an hour inside discussing. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning.
Looking around me, do I notice that the trees are like thicker? Do I notice any sense of foliage?
You note that the trees are always incredibly thick, roots growing so densely together that it's near impossible to enter them without finding actual paths.
And
Um,
peering, uh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, peering at the ground below me, um, do I see any search of like red, silvery color and seeing to Strahd root?
You can do what is that, nature check?
Yeah, I think I don't survival nature.
Nature's fine. Survivor's
I
more,
have insanity. How does that rack up with the checks?
whatever it is.
That's disadvantage. Okay. Dude,
Since we
oh,
are in the we're heading towards the wagon, correct?
you're heading back down the path. As this is happening, Khan notes a whispering sound in the back of his mind. Instead of looking for Strahd root, you find yourself almost in a daze as you just hear kind of a gentle whisper of a young girl. No words are being said, just kind of sound.
Is
Before
he?
you know it, you're halfway back to your cart.
Uh, Shaking my head. I really need a nap as I enter the cart.
Heading
Mhm.
back to the road, getting back into the wagon, you note your horse is rather panicked. You're not sure why, but it desperately wants to do something other than sitting around by the bridge. You note, since you are so close to the river crossing, that there no longer seems to be a body of the troll in the water. It's just empty now. Everything is. You know, a group of ravens just kind of perched on treetops near the southern end of the bridge. They seem to be looking towards the south, not doing too much attention payment to you.
Looking down, like,
I'll take this.
I'll give a prayer over the bridge.
You note only your reflection in the water, albeit murky.
I'll take this opportunity to pat the horse, attempting to calm it down, as well as feed it an
Uh,
apple.
cool.
Uh,
Can I get an animal handling check?
Alrighty. Let's see. Does the apple do anything, or is it just an apple?
I mean, I would just need to see the check.
All right.
The apple gets kind of knocked out of your hand as the horse doesn't seem to be very hungry. However, you manage to make the horse at least more stable. It doesn't want to run off. It does seem jittery. You know that it does not seem to want to, for some reason, be in the area still, as it kind of just over and over again.
peering over the bridge where the body used to be. Do I notice any footsteps or any trails that could indicate that it was dragged?
You don't notice any trails in the water now.
I'll just go ahead and pick up the apple, clean it off, make sure there's no dirt or what's name's on it,
Okay.
and I hop into
Best
the
way.
wagon, with, saying, "Are we ready?" Or
Yeah, we are.
Should we not pocket the coats to, avoid damage as I point towards Bennett's pouch?
So there's more than safe in the bag of holding.
It's best for us to wear once we get it, once we get the proximity of the temple.
Well, we're not heading to the temple immediately. We're heading to Valakai first.
I forgot. I see.
just so I'm aware, the magics within the cloak, they only activate once worn.
Yeah, they're just cloaks that now keep you warm.
Okay, so this the
Through
time
hard
the timer
conditions.
isn't on now. Okay,
There's no,
gotcha.
yeah, you gotta stop thinking in timers. You just have an enchanted cloak that works for a day. There's no timer.
Well, as everyone is settling, I guess I'll just in the wagon start messing with my herbs and whatnot, and hearing Khan mention poison multiple times. In fact, I'll go ahead and start working on creating a poison.
Cool. So the brewing you need to do cannot be done in the wagon.
Oh, okay.
Like it would be moving, and
Oh, jittering
I
when I
don't know if
go
you've ever
off the
tried
floor.
to. It's also a wooden wagon. You'd need a fire. So
All right.
I felt lucky then.
I guess with that, we'll head off towards Valaka.
Oh, also for Jotun's going south thing. Have you never been to Antarctica? The most southern part of the Earth. It's also the coldest part.
I mean, to be fair, if you go far enough north or south, you'll hit super cold.
Yeah, it kind of works out the same here. But then again, there's reasons for everything. Anyway, so the party is traveling to Valaki, yes?
I'm just gonna make perception checks.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay. With that, you begin crossing the bridge on Wagon. You come to a point, a dirt path leading north, or a standard road going south. Which direction do you choose to go in? I believe Kester. Wait, King, are you here?
I suggest we take the normal
I'm
route to the
here,
south,
Venison.
Custard.
Wait.
He's here. He's muted.
I guess looking at the North Road, would that take us less time from like the few times we've actually taken that way? Would that take less time or around the same?
So it's going to be the same amount of time. The difference is, I guess, sights and sounds, basically.
Okay. Yeah, we can go south. I had an idea of going north because we already know the werewolves aren't going to be on us.
Then let's go north. You know, change of scenery, whatnot.
Plus, with
Uh,
our last incident, the roads, the best we had north.
as we're traveling, Gordon make the comment. I think they have my father. He
You have
mentioned. Say again.
looking at Kester, if you choose a path, I think we should go north and then back to Pilgrim. Your father was missing? Of course he was, but it's with the wolves, you're saying?
They mentioned that the short gentleman, individual, who shared some resemblance to me, is currently in some pit they have of theirs. Karina is investigating right now, I believe. And he did leave westward, which is all I know where he could have gone to. And this is westward of Valakai, so
Uh, that's just more reason for us to help him. Hopefully, if we do enough to get him out of there, it is your father and isn't just somebody else. If I remember right, your grandpa and some of your cousins were missing too, so it might be one of them.
yeah, I know it's not my grandfather, but it might be one of my cousins. If it's my grandfather, he can stay. I don't really care for him, to be honest.
Right.
That's sort of harsh.
Here, I thought you'd be stuttering over those words.
No, well, you don't know what he's done or what he plans to do, if I'm being honest. He's just not a good person. I'll just keep it there. Keep it short. Say that.
South it is, Mr. J.
Yeah, sounds like
Okay. With that, it takes you about roughly 6 hours to get towards Valaki. Without too much getting in the way, you manage to reach the gates of Valaki with roughly, or at least at roughly 6 p.m. as the sun begins to set. Not that you can see it, but you certainly get a feel for the darkness approaching. As you enter into Val,
On the way towards like near the gate, I once again remind everyone to put their weapons in the bag. As I do the same.
Seeing as my weapons are left my bag, I'll just put on my sandals and remembering that I had them off.
All right, I'll do the same then.
as you approach Valaki, you note the guards at the gate. Only two very standard. Looking on, you don't know too much going on. They just kind of seem to be very much kind of just in almost just a mood. They seem to be fairly jovial, just kind of joking around as you approach. You note them going, halt, halt, halt. Who goes there? Who goes there? You don't note the guards as being too familiar as they just kind of stop you by one of the farmhouses.
We're simply travelers from Kretsko, and we're just looking for a place to rest for the night.
You kind of see one of the guards shrugs. Well, if you have the money, then we have an inn, I guess. And with that, you can see them kind of stopping you and looking everything over. Hmm, that's a nice horse you got there. Anyway, getting pretty late, and we have a festival coming up tomorrow. You're gonna want to, well, make sure you have all the opportunities to, you know, check it out. You can see the guard kind of putting his hand out. Ah, let's see, how many of them are there? I'd say about 100 gold a head should do.
There wasn't a toll last time we were here.
You could see the guards kind of look at each other and then look back. Huh? Well, I've never seen you before. So that means you've never been here before.
We certainly have. We both met Isaac and one of the previous other guards.
You note the guards kind of just shrugging at each other. I don't know what they're talking about either. Anyway, 100 gold a head seems about right.
Well, when we spoke to Isaac himself, he told us that there wasn't a toll.
It
We
wasn't
were
at all.
here. We spoke to him just last time we were here.
You can see both guards shrug again. So you don't want to come in, eh? Well, you have a good travel.
Seeing this happen, I'll just kind of blurt out, excuse my traveling companions. They're a bit senile. Long nights, winded journey. You know, looking at it, I'll just put my hand out. You heard the boys. 100 gold ahead. Let's not make them wait any longer.
You can see one of the guards kind of nod. Your elf friend there. He's pretty smart on the up.
Fine.
Um,
I'll take a pouch of 800 gold and just toss it over to him. Is that enough?
You note the guard kind of just grabbing it and kind of just weighing it, looking through it a bit. This will do. This will do. Uh, thank you. Thank you. Gotta eat it, you know. Anyway, you could leave the wagon here. We'll take good care of it for you.
as we're walking, I'll just kind of pass next to Chester and ask,
I'm sure you will. Mister, if you would, and I point to the lock on the back.
I assume can I start off the bag already? Yes. Time wise. Right.
I'm not sure what's happening right now. What's going on?
Oh, King typed in this.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did he say? I'm not in the chat.
Lock the weapon with the magic words.
Oh, okay, cool. With that, you lock up your cart tightly, getting off. You could see the guards kind of looking over at you and, more or less just going back to their business as you slowly enter into the gates. As you go through towards the town, you note the light slowly fading. Past the church, you note that there seems to be something going on as you slowly walk through. What location would you like to visit?
Well, we have some time. Why don't we stop by the church and see what's happening?
Honestly, at the moment we're tied with a lot of stuff. I wouldn't want to get tied with something else.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should pass up on the religious offer.
All right. So, where do you plan to go?
Blue water in.
All right. So, heading over to the inn, um, you note very specifically the raucous kind of banter going on outside as you reach the point. You note that there seems to be quite a bit of activity going on inside. Um, seems the evening brings quite the nightlife. That said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Kester asked if it was too late to go to Obadiah.
At the time, it's 6 o'clock, so it's not too late to go to shops and whatnot now.
All right. Are you buying something, or are you trying to check up? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Oh, don't worry. I can hear you. I can hear you well. It's just that my mic is bad, really bad.
He says with a perfectly fine mic.
Oh, word? Oh man, Jesus Christ. All right, fine. This is fine now. Let's put that over there then. All right, cool. So yeah, essentially what I was talking about is I need to find out why I'm bad at magic now.
Good. Ow, or
Go to
Uh,
end first.
I just wanted them to tell me what I need to do. But it's fine if we go to the end first. I could just do it in the morning.
Well, the shops are open. We can just head out there, then go to the inn.
Yeah. So I just need I just need to know what you guys are planning.
Let's head to the potion shop. The hunters aren't going to go anywhere tonight.
Okay. I'm all for going to Obadiah if that matters.
They're going to go to the potion shop because no one says anything.
Swell. All right, cool. I like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So instead of going to the Blue Water Inn, you swing yourselves towards the Greater Notions and Potions. Let's see.
Hmm.
Sorry, give me 1 sec. I'm kind of building things. So you managed to head over towards past the Blue Water Inn towards well, Greater Notions and Potions. Upon arriving, you do not note Doherty. Opening the door and heading through, you note Caspar sitting in an area tinkering with something as Obadiah sits floating in the air next to a what are those things called? A chandelier, just kind of reading over some things as he casually just yawns. They don't note well. They note the door opening as they both kind of look over. Seeing your party walk in, they don't make too much of it, as you could see Obadiah kind of putting his book down and Caspar hopping up. Ah, have you found her?
Not quite, but we're really close. We're about to head down to the Amber Temple to continue the search.
You could see Caspar shaking his head. Ah, blast it all! Why are you back here then?
Yes, see, I'm having a slight bit of issues with magic, you see, and I was wondering if I could get a well, diagnosis.
You note Obadiah kind of floating down about 5 feet above you and just looking you over. What seems to be the trouble, my boy?
Yes, yes, yes. So, just just like holding out my cards and flickering them between my hands, they kind of like warble and shift. Not at all like concrete, I guess. Any anything for this, I guess?
Mm-hmm. You could see him kind of mulling something over. I see, I see. Well, not really sure. You're not a wizard of any sort. Hmm. Don't know. You're more sorcery, it seems. Have you done anything strange recently?
Yes. Recently I regressed 9 years. So if that's anything. Oh, I also fused half my soul with another dimensional being. If that means anything too.
You could see both Caspar and Obadiah kind of just look dead at Kester. Obadiah kind of nods. That'll do it. Whatever
Hmm.
focus you once had, I imagine, has been split. So
Mm.
he kind of just strokes his beard a bit. Hmm. Where is this looking around, this creature or entity?
Being held hostage. Up on Yesterhill.
You could see both of them again quite just put off as Obadiah kind of slowly shrugs his arms and just looks back at you. Nothing can be done about that then. I imagine I'd have
Mm.
to meet her or him or it. Whoops, I metagamed.
So, okay, so I guess to fix my problems, I have to, well, bring it, her. It's a her. Bring her down here, correct?
It would help me get a better sense of the situation. I imagine there could be other things, but it seems quite likely that you're, well, you've strained yourself or, you know, stretched yourself a bit too thin.
Hmm. Ah. So until then, I'm a wee bit lesser than I was. Okay. All right. By the way, do you happen to have anything like a sorcerer's compendium up there in your library, perhaps?
Mm. You could see Obadiah kind of look around and shrug. Nothing here but lore, really. Not much on
Um,
sorcery. A bit on wizardry, thanks to old Doherty. The sorcerers don't last long in Barovia. Not much written about them. Sadly, well, uh, Strahd and his ilk aren't too keen on sorcerers.
mm, mm, understood, understood. All right. Good to know that I won't last long. That really puts a little pep in my step. Anyways, all right. I guess until then, I'll be back with hopefully Dorothy and the girl.
Speaking of that, we may need to ask of you a favor involved in, getting Doherty. You see, we have a situation that involves heading towards, well, the Ember Temple, and we found a way to surmount the cold, but one or two people are kind of in need of something. Anything you can think of.
You could see Obadiah kind of look towards Casper, who's just on the edge of his seat. The Ember Temple. Oh, uh, I don't know. The only thing I know of the Ember Temple is you need to be warm and mm, mostly magically warm. Uh, Other than those furs you had from the leftover owl bears, I can't think of anything we have here. I don't believe Obadiah is quite the enchanter of. Well, looking over to Obadiah, Casper kind of says, "Say, old man, do you actually know how to enchant something to warm it to that point?" You can see Obadiah say, as he drifts back up and pulls a book out of a shelf. He starts to flip through pages slowly. The only thing that exists is, there's a enchantment spell for a ring, the Ring of Warmth. Supposedly, anyone who wears said ring would be filled with warmth throughout their body, enough so to survive in those temperatures. Any keen adventurers going down there, they'd pick one of those up. Sadly, never seen one before, but I imagine they have to exist in Barovia since they're written about.
Hey, they're written about. Do you have any books on that subject?
You could see Obadiah just kind of holding the book and going, "Why, of course, I'm reading it."
Would you mind if I took a look at that?
Uh, just shaking his head, you could see Obadiah just raise his hand. Ready?
What did he say?
Ready.
Yeah, I'll just go to look over the book.
Mm, Okay, I don't. You didn't answer, but he just kind of
No, no,
tosses.
wait. What did he? I think I'm misunderstanding the situation.
He
Yeah, it's
asks if
fine.
you're ready to catch the book.
Yeah,
Oh, oh yeah. I didn't get that. Yep,
okay.
I just raised my hands to catch the book.
He tosses it down to you. You know, mulling it over, that it lists just different items and their magical properties.
So it's a book of magical items essentially.
Yeah, a compendium of just different items as written about by you note the title or the book's author is Morden Kanan, albeit at first the name is kind of misty and then it slowly clears itself.
Would you mind if I borrowed this?
Obadiah kind of nods. Well, if it would help us see our dear cousin again, think nothing of it. Just bring it back. I'm a bit well connected to these books. My life's work collecting them. You see.
Looking
Of
towards
course, I'll
Casper.
bring it back to you safely.
Um, Looking towards Casper, laying down towards him, ask him, do you have any way to like help me aid in like helping a sense, what do I call it? Start for S. Sentient tree being.
You could see Obadiah just kind of rubbing his beard. A tree being. Hmm. Don't think I've ever written or read anything about trees. Uh, can you go into detail?
Yes, previously we fought the glass tree offspring named Winter Splinter and had to face it in battle. And apparently, each time I struck at it, the roots or the blights around it kept dying. Had a damage to it, but yeah,
Hmm.
just asking if I need anything, firepower.
Mm, mm. He just kind of nods and rubs his beard. Sounds delightful, my boy. Not too sure though. Nothing about what did you call them? Uh, blights. Mm. Seems like something you'd want to ask one of those druid folks about. To be honest, not much written about the druids. The Zolf line is pretty secretive, actually.
See. Very well. No, that'll be all. Thanks, then.
Actually, since you're done, looking at Obadiah, Doherty, yes, need to find her, but do you know her preferred flower? I kind of need something for her, as you know, and I'd rather make a good impression if I am to have her teach me.
You could see Caspar and Obadiah just look at each other. Uh, Caspar, just holding in laughter, looks back towards Khan. Flower. Ah, you don't know my cousin at all. You'd sooner find Doherty playing with vicious snakes than flowers. That one is a bit more rough and tumble. I imagine Tilgrim can tell you a bit more about that. If you're trying to impress her, she cares about skill and efficiency over anything else. She has no need for Laura.
Understood, understood. Thank you, thank you.
I wanted to ask if you guys know anything about Perez. Since Doherty's been back a couple of times, I'd imagine she shared something. Mentioned something.
They look back at each other and then towards Bennett. Obadiah just kind of nodding slowly. Uh, Nothing of interest there. She never spoke of her time in the swamps, only that, well, when she left, she was but a girl, and when she returned, a woman. The only change was, well, her attitude and that thing wrapped around her throat, the brand. You could see Caspar kind of just picking up that thing. Uh, it wouldn't let us get close, but Doherty, well, she was never one for closeness. She never spoke of that time, and merely that, well, she now had the power to branch off and be on her own. As she managed to get grandfather quite nervous about things. And, well, that's how we established the shop. Mainly, no one else would except for us, and well, Doherty decided to protect us, and we followed her anywhere we could, really. Myself and Obadiah, however, unlike her, we're not all that powerful. We have it up here, he says, pointing to his head, but not here, he says, wiggling his fingers. Caspar kind of nods. What? I mean, maybe her sister knows. Uh, if you can get a hold of her. Signy. Last I heard, she's on special assignment with the Wachters. Lady Wachter's personal guard, if I'm not mistaken. Signy would know more about it. I think that's the only one of us that Doherty ever felt truly comfortable confiding in.
I'll keep that in mind. Thanks.
No problem. Please, however we can help, let us know.
Ass.
I guess that sort of ends the hunters.
Wait, no, one last question. While looking around, do I notice a herbalism kit?
You know an herbalism kit sitting on Doherty's desk area.
Okay. I'm looking towards Obadiah. Well, since we are on our way to find her, do you think she'll mind if I purchase this? I think it'll make great practice.
Looking over towards you, Obadiah almost stops you mid-sentence. Oh, there's no purchasing of that. Nothing over there is for purchase. If she saw you with that, she'd probably kill you, actually. So I think you're best to leave it alone. If you are interested in any type of alchemic process, I would speak to her first and foremost before, well, meddling.
Oh, understood. Thank you.
Mm. She's only taken a few apprentices, and, well, only a few of them have ever survived. She's a bit, mm, rough with the young ones.
Surely nothing I can't handle. As I kind of back towards the door, bowing them good night.
Mm.
Well, to the end, I
That's it. Yep, to them.
With that, I suppose the party leaves the shop as both Obadiah and Caspar kind of just faintly waving, reminding you to please do what you can for their sister. Outside of the shop, you note the rain coming down harder than ever. Uh, where would you like to travel?
To the inn.
Oh, would you mind going to the church? There was some kind of commotion over there.
If
Hello?
no one's if no one's against it, guess we might as well go then.
y'all just nod.
We can't accept anything
Churches.
else. We already have a tall enough order as it is.
Well, I guess we can just investigate.
So we're going towards the church, I suppose.
Yeah. While heading towards the church, do I notice anything on the ground as I peer downwards?
Uh, just the cobblestone streets before you, and puddles of rain collecting in some of the pockets.
Okay.
You just note people passing by, smiling at you, and quickly trying to get out of the rain. Heading back over towards the church, you find yourself sitting at the front of the St. Andrew Church. Notably enough, the door is closed but not locked.
Well, Lucian, shall we get ahead towards him?
Looking at Lucian, I nod as well.
I'll move you and you, and I'll put you and you and you here. Getting towards the front of the church, again, you note the door is unlocked as you can hear some arguing coming from within.
I guess I will open the door. Argument.
As the door opens, you can hear a familiar voice, Milovaj, just kind of shouting, "Well, I don't know what else to do! Ah! Father, there has to be some way to help." With that, you note Milovaj and the father, Lucian, kind of looking down towards the rest of you, Yeska close behind Lucian. As they kind of peer back at you, the or at least the argument ends abruptly as the father just kind of goes, travelers, please come in and rest. This is a place of worship, course. He doesn't note who you are specifically as much as just kind of is very much focused on ending the conversation being had.
Hope you didn't interrupt anything.
Move you because you guys are just hanging out. Father Lucian, noticing your mask, kind of just
Had
shakes
to
his head.
refresh.
No, no. It's you all again. Come to cause more trouble, please. Uh, we've already lost so much. Say your piece and then uh, leave us be. You
Not
can see
trying.
Milibaj kind of angrily just kind of stomp off towards the side.
I'm not trying to cause any trouble. We know our companion. No one wants to speak ill of the dead, but made some decisions that the rest of us didn't really follow along with. But
Dear me, did that boy meet his fate here in Barovia so soon?
like everybody else does in time,
Hmm. Well, you have my condolences. Please make yourselves at home. Rest here if you must. I wish no ill on anyone, no matter how much trouble they cause.
we were walking by and we heard some commotion from the outside. Got curious. And I'll just like, I guess while saying this, look over to Milovaj in the corner and then over back to Father Lucian. Is everything alright?
You could see Milivoj kind of like slam his arm into the wall. Everything's fine. Now, thanks to your lot, you could see Father Lucian kind of just shaking his head a bit. The boy is means well. His friend, or at least Evelyn, the uh, parishioner, or rather, the mother over at the orphanage, has gone missing. You could see Milovaz just angrily just go, she asked you to go find the children, and you guys ignored her. So she went on her own. I tried to stop her, but somebody had to take care of the rest of us. So good that, or I'm sorry, some good you lot do. First with Wilhelmina, now with Evelyn. Pretty soon we'll all be dead, and it'll be thanks to you. You can see Father Lucian shaking his head. Milovaj, please. That said, you lot do cause quite a bit of trouble.
We're looking to try to fix that. And also, I guess like looking over to Milovaj again, I'll just kind of say, stop being so stressed, or else you're gonna pop that blood vessel on your forehead. She's on her way back now.
You've seen her.
Yes.
Well, maybe you're good for something. There's no popping needed. I deal with stress just like any man would. Unlike you all, I don't have time to just travel around. I've got bigger problems.
I'll have a fair share. Sorry for interrupting
Look
you.
towards.
Got a bit
Uh,
curious as all. You're saying something, Zardos?
yes, more interest towards the church itself. Father Lucian, may I have, if the part doesn't mind, may I have a brief information about your church, God, and where the history of the church? I believe Khan wants to call it the Morning Lord. I'd like more. I'd like more, learn more about it. English guy, speak English.
You can see Father Lucian just kind of like looking around the church and pointing out some of the stained glass windows. The Morning Lord, he, well, uh, he is not exactly quite worshipped here in Valaki. More than not, noting the symbolism, here in Valaki, we honor Saint Andrew, one of the three great saints. He, or simply Andrel, she was once a member of our small community and went on to serve Argenvost as one of the knights. We see her as more of a true, well, I wouldn't call her a deity, but something of a savior, a hope. She brought a great light to many. She worked very closely with Markovia. Their duty, no one else can do. The first to really stand against that monster.
I see. I presume also the lake above us, towards the north. If I did my math right. Lake Markovia.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
As also how he asked the history about also the Lake Markovia.
Lake Markovia? Late Mark? Yeah. Are you saying late or
Lake
lake?
Lake
Okay, what's
like
that?
body water lake. The
There's there's no body of water called Lake Markovia.
isn't it pools around here? That's
You mean Lake Zarovich?
no. The place I don't know that wasn't there, but like yeah, it's kind of hard because sorry, it's not no, but just forget about that. Hmm, how about more about this
You mean the thing in Kresk?
Alton Crescent? Okay
You
then,
note the
never mind
father
that.
is very confused and shaking his head a bit.
My apologies, Father. I'm just a bit confused. The longer I see this tire me out a bit. Um, do you have any more information about Saint? I can't pronounce it right. The A1 Amelia. Oh God, this is not working out. Should put this through. Oh, Saint Andrew. Exciting.
Would you happen to know a Dr. Oslin?
You note that Father Lucian kind of shakes his head. Not met many doctors. Mm, uh, I'm not aware of that person.
I'm looking towards Swalucy, and I'll just ask, "Hmm, what does a religious man as yourself know about whispers in the back of your head? Um, intangible whispers. I've experienced one, and I'd rather not experience it again."
You note the father just kind of nodding. Well, young man, I've heard many of parishioners who have heard whispers and different amalgamations going on in their minds. I'm more of the spirit, but I can only recommend that you seek, well, uh, peace, solace, perhaps in the arms of a god of worship or in the actions of, well, you were discussing a doctor. Perhaps seeking one of those out might help a bit. What do he kind of seems a bit intrigued as Milovich kind of just hangs on to the words angrily in the corner. What do the voices say?
Well, nothing that I could comprehend, but it sounded female, if that
Looking
makes any
around,
sense.
looking around to the rest of you, the Father Lucian just almost a bit stressed, just shakes his head. You all should get help for your friend. This place, Barovia, takes a toll on people.
And would you have any sage or medicinal herbs that I could borrow or use?
You can see Lucian kind of confused, shaking his head. I'm merely a clergyman. I have books and candlelight. I give rousing speeches trying to keep spirits up. I'm no herbalist or doctor of any sort.
I understand. Thank you. I
Mm,
kind of should bow.
no need for that. I am only a servant of, well, the Morning Lord, amongst other things.
Nodding, I stand up and back towards the door.
If I could, may I, study upon one of the books you have, learn more about Bruvalia. Oh God, English, more of this land.
You could see the father just kind of not sure. Uh, I don't have anything public or available to truly be read. Well, you've caught us at a bit of a impasse. We're trying to, well, get some things together. Can't say that I can't say I have anything other than different books on the saints, but those are, well, quite old, most likely outdated by these times. Then again, it's been quite some time since any saints were here in Barovia.
No, that'll be just fine.
With that, he notes on the pews different small black books just sitting there. Help yourself.
Okay, so have you he pointed towards direction. Mr. J.
Sorry,
The area where the book's located.
they're
I
on
was
the
just
pews. I just said it.
I have no idea what I have no pews. I have no idea what pews are.
Pews are
The
the
chairs.
benches. That's what they're called when you go into church. The long things you sit on, they're
I,
called pews.
I don't have those. I don't have those.
Oh well, yeah, okay.
Okay,
Well,
yeah,
that's what
because
those
look over
are.
them.
You learn something.
And that's the answer
Indeed.
though. The wooden bench things, the pews.
Well, then, yeah, I gotta look. Take. I guess take. Two. I guess. Um. What does the cover say? One of them.
There's nothing on the cover. It's just a small black pamphlet. Father Lucian kind of looking over to you. He kind of just nods. By all means, sit. Learn about the well. Learn about the goodness that could be brought to you, if only.
Very well, Publishing. Honestly, that was take try not to break the bench. Okay. And let's start reading the pamphlet. Looking back to where he said, I'll see you guys at the end. So that's be reading.
Um, Father Lucian, I hope it's not too far fetched if he can take the pamphlet with him. We're on a bit of a time crunch, and we aren't really a type of group to leave people behind.
Uh, Father Lucian kind of shrugs. Well, I these are trying times, but do you know what's happening in a few days? Well, tomorrow actually. He kind of taps his foot a bit.
Festival.
Mm. You see, the festival is one of many things happening. There's also the feast of Saint Andrews. Uh, Once he kind of points behind him towards the altar. Once held here, it seems that the bones of Saint Andrew, sacred relics that protect this place from, well, him, have gone missing. I'm not sure. He kind of looks around suspiciously. Uh, you note from this, it becomes very tense in the room as He continues, I'm not sure what or who could have taken them, but they are missing. The festival is tomorrow. I worry about what could happen if they're not returned to this sacred place. I would note that you have caused quite a bit of trouble in the past, but, well, if you're willing, I'd like someone to help me figure out what became of them.
Right now we have a lot on our plate, but if we're able to pull through it quick enough, give what help we can. Can't guarantee results, though. I'd be lying to
I
you if I did that.
just kind of demoralized. He just waves his hands a bit. Yes, of course. It's just, well, I, I have a feeling something's going to happen. I only hope it's just a feeling, he says, and quietly just returns back to what he was doing. If you need anything else, please ask. Well, will be tending to the altar. With that, you could see Milovaj kind of just shrug. Everybody's so useless and just walk off.
Where did he say the bones were originally stored?
The altar underneath it.
Oh, okay. Uh,
Could I roll for
really
investigation
quick,
for that?
really quickly, yeah. I was just gonna try to investigate to see if there were any marks of that were left behind by the thief, perhaps.
You go ahead and roll for that.
This is gonna be interesting, because I don't actually have a way to pull up Foundry.
Oh, well, in
Father
that case,
Lucien,
just
I
roll in. Are you on Discord? Just roll in Discord.
Yeah, let's just go.
Investigation.
I have
Oh
to
god, that's a
ask.
whole 0.
You said that the bones were held here. You know how many people knew that? Or specifically where they were hidden?
You could see Father Lucian look towards Zardos. What are you doing exactly? As Zardos has no success poking around.
Hmm. I'm trying to look for any footprints or any markings.
See, I've done that already. Heh.
Hmm.
I even told my younger sister to see if the burgomaster can get involved, but oh, they're off planning their little festival. That said,
Could
looking back towards Bennett, Father Lucian just shakes his head. Only I knew of the whereabouts, and, well, he kind of looks towards Yeska. I imagine someone who spends all his time with me probably knew about the whereabouts of the bones as well, wouldn't they? You could see Yeska just looking around very nervously and kind of shaking his head reluctantly up and down.
hmm. If I listen, could you have any enemies of the church? Anyone with like sabotage?
Well, anyone
That
who
could be
would
a
know
lead.
that the bones are here would be an enemy. Strahd, anyone who's
Hmm.
close to him, anyone who acts out for him, the occultists, and more. Those bones are the only thing that protects Valaki from, well, the Horde.
Hmm. Let's see.
As this is happening, parishioners begin to slowly start coming in and taking a seat. You note that Father Lucian kind of nods while welcoming them in. Please, there'll be a service starting soon. Uh, whatever you need to do, please make it, well, as fast as you can.
Hmm.
Alright.
Um, have they also been taken at the same time with the bones of Markovia as well?
You just see him just shrugging. I wouldn't know. I didn't know the bones of Markovia were taken from somewhere. Last I knew of them, they were buried somewhere deep in that prison that they call Castle Ravenloft.
I see. Maybe one option. In the time I was reading the pamphlet, what I learned.
You know that the actually, let me bring this up real quick. You know that the you know that there are numerous deities in the way of Barovia, but there are only two important ones. On the side of what can be considered good and kindness is the sun itself, the morning lord, also called Pelor or Leander. Um, representing the darkness or the moon, you note the mother of night, um, also known as Zulika. Between them or under them were written tales of two great saints, Markovia, or her faith never wavering, and Andrel, her love defended the souls of the living. Under each were small descriptions of them. Uh, Saint Markovia is known to be the only person in all of Barovia to truly fight back against Strahd, raising up raising up an army from a small abbey to the west. She was born and raised in Kretsk and well died there as well. You note Markovia's last name to be Kretskov. You also note that from everything written, she truly was a saint. You also note that Saint Andrew was born and raised in Valaki, and she, like Markovia, did everything she could, but not to fight Strahd, instead trying to reunite the peoples of Barovia with elves and druids alike, uh, both of them losing their lives, one dead to Strahd, the other dead to occultists. And then they were sainted by the order of, oh, I'm sorry, I can't remember, the order of Palar, led by I'm sorry, Zal Nathaniel.
I see them. Well done. If that's all of them, I guess you should head to the inn. Wrap this up. We'll lose pressure time. Unless anyone else has questions, Jax.
Oh, just walk out.
Sorry, no thief.
With that, the father kind of just nods. Well, be safe and take care of yourselves.
Thank you, Lucian. You as well.
With that, closing the door behind you, you head back out into the streets as you note other parishioners kind of making their way into the church as the church bell rings. Dong, dong, in the darkness, kind of just swelling sounds throughout the town. With that, you know that being a bit later, what would you like to do? You'd say about 30 minutes passed while you were discussing with the father.
As the rain comes down heavier, looking towards the party, I'll just say, "Can we please get some sleep? For the love of the court, I'd much rather not be wet for any longer."
Yeah, that impatience of yours is
Very
gonna
well done.
get you killed. Especially
Ah,
in
that'd
these
be fun.
times.
Uh, Bennett notes it being 6:30 in the evening as he points out Khan's rashness.
Well, with that said, let's carry on to the end. More questions, Jax over there.
As we head in towards the end, Khan just remembers and kind of whispers, "Hey, didn't Victor ask us to do something whenever we came to Valakai? Something about telling his parents that he's okay?"
Yes, yes, he did. But I don't think the guards probably let us in that place by now at this time.
All right.
Actually, I'm gonna delete you guys real quick.
Damn.
Add you back in here. There you go.
Well, looking towards Lucian regarding the blacksmith's get spiked boots. I'm not sure if he's open yet, but I guess we could try.
Lucian isn't here at the moment.
Just typed in the chat. I just caught it. Okay.
So as you enter back into the Blue Water Inn, you note it quite busy as Erwin kind of waves at you all, coming back out of his stall and delivering drinks around. He just kind of goes, "Ah, Bennett, and your unlikely alliance. Welcome. Find a seat. And stay for a while." With that, I'm gonna be right back.
I had no idea that it was 6:30, or kind of slipped my mind.
And bro, I don't sit by myself. God damn.
Get a choice. You're being social today.
Fuck that shit, man.
There's a family gathering. You're
Okay.
talking to that random aunt that remembers you when you were a fetus.
Oh god. I don't talk to people I know, and that's you guys.
You're not to be
Stranger
social
danger.
now.
Stranger danger, man.
It's called not being a shut-in.
Hey, man. It is what it is. Oh god. I guess once we're done, I guess talk to the this nigga right here about the wait, we're live on Twitch, right? Or Zoom?
What?
Yo, real quick, what
We're
happened
live
in
on
like the
Twitch.
first hour of the session?
First hour, we just asked Aurelia and Evelyn about their sister that we were supposed to find, Ozilin. We found out that she was a weremonkey, so that's something to keep eyes out for.
Damn.
And this is
Weremonkey.
also the it isn't a joke. Literally, that's what she is. Also, it is the
Weremonkey.
same Ozlin Stoyanovich that gave Jotun their arms. Also brought one of the artifacts to Argon Vostholt, and that we found all those letters from. So,
Yo.
yeah, so she's pretty much a big role. Issue is
Huh.
we have little idea on where exactly to find her, but yeah, it's been mentioned multiple times that she was a weremonkey, so pretty much the first thing in my mind is, yo, keep a lookout for a monkey.
Oh, fucking god, we're monkey,
Monkey,
bro.
you said.
It's not even fucking funny.
I don't know one monkey, man. I don't know one monkey in this place, man. I don't know one monkey. Yo, it's Frank Blinsky, bro. That's like
Yo,
Blinsky, bro.
yo,
It's not
Also,
even fucking funny, bro. It's just we're monkey, bro.
it is a weremonkey, yes.
Alright, so I guess
Swear
the
to God, if
last
she has
monkey we
yellow hair,
saw.
I'm gonna have a problem. Anyways. But yeah,
Piccolo.
yeah, Piccolo would be, at least that's, we haven't seen any other monkeys
that's
in Barovia, so
Oh
yeah.
god.
that's immediately
Yeah,
where my
man.
suspicions go.
I mean, not yet.
Not yet, but as far as we know, yeah, it's, I guess it's
Yo, let's just
suspicious, but
go.
I think she's possibly in Valaki. Yeah, I mean, looking at the letters, they told her to disappear in Valaki, so I'd
Yeah,
imagine,
and
like,
Victavio definitely, he was kind of suspicious about how eager he was to take Piccolo off.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let's
with all,
verify right next to him.
so with all that
Alright,
And I
considered,
hope he ain't doing some sus. I mean, I know he's horny and all, but hey, man.
Oh, whoa,
okay,
whoa,
whoa,
fellas, let's
whoa,
calm down
no
now.
one,
Let's calm
whoa,
down now.
hold on. Who the fuck
I'll be
said?
down.
No, I know this man is a bit of a man
Fellas.
whore, right? But there's no
Yeah,
way
but
there's no way he would stoop to that level of sticking his dick in a literal monkey. All right, no one would
My
do that.
man gets women wherever he goes. He does not need a monkey. I tell you what, he
Dog,
does not.
he really
Victavio,
doesn't.
Oh my
hey,
god,
He
you know where
really does
Victavio
not.
went?
he like chills at the tavern. He
Oh, yeah.
drinks like
So
90% of the
just
day.
the jester that's better than Kester.
Because imagine, like, if,
well,
like,
Oh wow, fuck.
Okay.
imagine the doctors to pick
I
up.
would say
Pretty
every.
crazy.
Oh,
What?
let's
None.
Zach was here as well too.
Yeah.
With the hunters,
Isn't there
with
questions
the
in the ask?
hunters,
Oh.
Charlie?
not top of my head. No.
Anyway,
Beside excuse me, XDM. Am I muted? No, I'm not muted, am I? No, I'm muted. Yeah.
with that,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you know the goings on inside. What are you doing?
Well,
Looking towards the group that I'm at, can I kind of listen into their conversation as I just lean back on the, I'm guessing that's a table. Yeah. This, I want to snoop in on this table over here.
So you're gonna lean on the table with the people sitting at
No,
it to snoop?
no, I want to lean on this table, but I
Okay.
want to
Well,
snoop in on that table.
so
Oh, that's
as
what
you lean
sitting
on
on
the
it.
table, you note the gentleman with his female friend kind of looking at you and pushes you over. Hey, you stupid elf! What are you doing? You see him get up and as this is happening, Erwin kind of looks over. Oi, what's going on?
I'm looking at
You
the
could see the gentleman looking at you and then yelling to Erwin, "This elf over here sat on our table in the middle of our dinner."
Ah, man. I'll just kind of apology bow and kind of say, so sorry. I lost my footing. I meant none of it.
Yeah, I bet. You can see the gentleman not too pleased as the rest of the patrons kind of
What was it? Table.
look over and he goes back. You
Um,
best move on. He
as
says, looking at you.
nodding, can I, since I'm closer to this, can I attempt to eavesdrop as I was pushed there? Did I didn't know anything while this whole encounter was happening?
You know that they all are looking at you and most likely wondering why you're just standing there.
As I'll just pick up my thing as I'll head over here.
You can see Erwin just kind of look towards Bennett. What are your friends doing? Try to make sure they're more mindful of their surroundings.
If
I am running a business here.
Yeah, being completely honest, at the time, and I'm confused. And I work with them. Does a good bit. Yeah, sorry about him. I don't think he had much of a social life before this. Because Bennett just kind of like pinches the nose of his mask, I guess. exhaling.
I'm sorry.
Wait, me or Bennett?
Whatever
Name.
Alex said, the tail end of it. What were you saying you were doing?
I just kind of pinched the bridge of the nose of my mask and just kind of exhaled.
All right.
Lean towards well, it is what's it called a good distance. I call it Solarza, Solarza. Um, this guy right here, to do with the beard, and
Soldar.
Shoulder.
Solar,
Soldar
Solar's name.
Zobaros.
Okay, Solar. Yes. Reading well, good afternoon, Cesaros. If you have time, may I quick ask you questions about the Amp Temple? Well, as a whisper towards him. No.
Kind of glaring back to you. You could see him put his mug of ale down and just kind of look over to you. Best step outside, friend.
Very well done. But,
Looking
work
over
out.
the table, he nods. Yevgeny will finish up the story. I'm gonna head out a bit, get some air, smoke some pipe. Standing outside in the kind of soft mist that was the rain at one point, you could see Soldar pull out a small pipe and light it up, or rather packing it and then lighting it up. He takes a quick puff and then blows a smoke ring out, slowly staring up into it as the mist just kind of eats it up. Aye, aye. I remember you, Paladin, from before.
Yes.
You asked a lot of questions, but I imagine they're for a good reason. So,
You cut off for a bit.
he just said, so, he wants you to get on with it.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. Recently, me and my part members were tasked to head towards Amber Temple, and we heard that you guys know the ins and outs of the Amber Temple. Somebody will do with the rocks, dragons, and the creatures. Do you have any way safe passage to get to there, or any information about it?
You could see him kind of just bite on his pipe a bit and then spit down beside himself. Safety heading to the temple, eh? Never been there myself. Went down there with the guards to hunt me a rock. Sadly, not many of us made it back. Between the rock, the dragons, and hell's else down there, there's not much safe passage at all. Both things frozen solid from the bridge all the way down to the path, up the mountain towards the temple. Safest thing I got for you is you dress warm and, well, you hope that you don't catch wind of anything out there. It's a death trap down there. Hundreds, maybe 1,000 dead men littering the place. Wouldn't suggest going down there myself, but if you are on some paladinly duty, I suggest you bring a hell of a lot of ammunition and strong party folks with you.
Hmm.
But as
Do you
far
have
as
any attacks?
go ahead.
My bad. I'll say quickly. Ask some data attacks in the raw because I heard in these flying creatures, flying demon creatures.
I see them come over the ridge, carried a few men off, pecking their eyes out with their beaks and whatever else they couldn't find. They started incinerating, fire coming out of their hands, their beaks. Wasn't around much long after that. Went there to hunt a rock. Ended up finding all sorts of supernatural demons and whatnot. I'm not that kind of hunter. If I were you, friend, I know you have the whole Paladin's Oath thing. I'd bring a hell of a lot of holy water or whatever the hell else you use to fight off those abyssal hordes because uh, nothing's what it seems down there. It's all misery and
You see,
death.
Zara chuckles and like gladly. Do you have any attacks within the rock? Because I heard about it breathes fire and like wind. Any good ways to limit its movement? Any methods, ways? Mr. J?
Sorry, I'm texting someone.
Oh,
They asked a question. I'm sorry, repeat that? Sorry about that.
yeah. No offense. There was actually any tactic, any attacks, any fuck. Is there any tactics on defeating the rock?
You can see Zoldar kind of
Like,
just shake his head slowly. But no, thing was too big. Started throwing out giant tornadoes and whirlwinds, freezing people and knocking them off the bridge. Swooped down with its wings and just flat whole battalions of men out onto the ice where they fell into it and just froze to death. Couldn't tell you any kind of tactic that works. I don't think much stands a chance against it. The only thing that seemed to deter it was the dragon, but good luck trying to speak dragon to a dragon.
hmm. Well, that does that problem. With the demon birds, it's holy water, and as for as for the dragon, I believe it's gold. I believe it's also there's rumors about it's fighting the rock. Had it ever assist you fight the rock, or it's only doing its own volition?
Not sure about
Remember,
fighting it.
remember.
Definitely gold. Uh, Saw it streaking through the air, lightning flying everywhere. I imagine territorial disputes are a thing between giant creatures, but well, didn't stay long enough to find out.
Have you seen any caves at during the past towards Am Temple? In place we could like hide out or like defend itself against the like say a bridge. So and we could bring in the rock close to us and trap it in. Or there's no such thing.
Trapping a giant bird like that? Can't imagine there's a net big enough. Or a team.
Okay, then that plan has failed. Hmm. Anything? Next. Is there any with his movement, attack-wise, attack patterns, any like delays or like what's this usually movements? Does it dive down first, or blast out wind? Something we can prepare for.
He kind of shrugs a bit. Not sure. Landed on top of the bridge. Kind of just watched over a few groups of us while we were down in the valley. Once a few troops came up to kind of meet it on the bridge, it started throwing out wind, just knocking them everywhere. As far as attack patterns, thing that big, not much pattern needed. Its wingspan can knock off 50, 60 men in one hit. The tornadoes are big enough to grab up about 5 to 10 of us. And as soon as it lifts you up, well, I don't know if you've ever felt a 100-foot drop before onto hard stone, but those men's armor certainly didn't protect them from it.
And what about these demon creatures? Said I think they'll be also lucid during the fight with the rock as well too. Is there any higher leadership or like dominance of the I assume this is a big creature that have probably dominance of the small less creatures, or is they doing their own will like hive
He
mind I believe.
He seems kind of confused and just shrugs. Not sure what you mean. Uh, the things, the bird creatures with the fire, uh, they seem
Yes.
to follow some type of chain of command. But the big bird didn't seem one of them. More or less, just seemed protecting its colony, or maybe it had some eggs out there. Not sure. Didn't stay long enough to chat it up.
I see. Also, there's also rumors about this flaming gate. Have you also seen it before? Green fire or mist, whatever it is.
No idea what you're talking about.
No, remember that. What else? Um, damn, it's gonna be hard then. Hmm. Well, does it have any nests or a nest that rest at? Its habitat, natural habitat, a nest or place of rest. The time it's active and when it's not active.
You could just see him shrugging. Not sure. Again, I didn't really get a chance to
Mm.
study up on giant birds when it was killing off all of the burgomaster's men, and we were shitting ourselves trying to get up out of there. Listen, friend, if
I
you're that
see.
interested, why don't you march yourself on down there and see it for yourself? I imagine it'll answer all your questions for you.
Yes. The way I wanted to, but very well. If that's all, thank you for much information. Okay. And I bow down and let him go back to the his dinner.
To your
As I
bow, he
call
just
not.
kind of shrugs at you. Uh, Paladin, you're kind of weird. Anyway, why don't you go inside and get yourself a drink? You seem a bit tightly wound there, he says as he goes back to just smoking his pipe.
Well then, I was giving away and heads in.
Um, I guess walking out of the bar for a sec, and look over to, pretty sure his name is Yevgeny.
Hmm.
Okay, I got that right.
Wait, I'm
Uh,
sorry. Which one? Who?
Yev Yevgeny's the one.
That's Soldar.
No,
Yevgeny's
Soldar. Yeah,
inside telling stories.
yeah. I thought I got that wrong. Uh, hey, Soldar. I wanted to ask you something. Hopefully, you have the time.
Uh, your friend in there just chatted me up a bit. Gotta say, you lot sure do like your questions. What is it exactly?
Uh, Last time I talked to you about the wolves, or at least the owlbear and the wolf situation in the north, I wanted to ask, when we were talking about that, you mentioned stuff about Perez. Been there before?
Uh, Here and there. Uh, Me and Yev had a little team of hunters. Went down there looking for some basilisk eggs, mind you. Didn't feel like running into the big things.
I guess you'd be the best time. How'd you guys protect yourselves? Me and my group have been going around all over the place asking, but a lot of people seem to know the threats, not really how to counter them. Assume since you guys hunt down there, at least a kid to know some tricks.
I know a bit of tricks, but he kind of points to his head and lets out a billow of smoke. The biggest trick you have is your mind. Me and Yev, we're real good at hiding, sneaking around after dark, making sure nothing can smell or see us, rubbing dirt on ourselves, that whole lot. Come upon the swamps and there's gases everywhere. we just, cover ourselves up a bit. Go ahead and find some potions of some resistance, cure alls, and all that good stuff. Uh, there's a shop over, potion shop. Little Miss makes up some good potions for right price. She'll make what you need, but I hear she's missing a bit lately. Uh, Pity. Probably why we're not getting much work down south anymore. But if you have a team smart enough, you'd be in and out. Figure out how to deal with things just from your own know-how and skill. Best way to survive a basilisk is not to engage a basilisk. If you're looking for the eggs or a lair, much easier to do. Funny thing about that swamp, though, no matter how quiet and dark it was, at night you could see things moving. Corner of your eye, you could smell things, hear things right behind you, but there's nothing there. Just a bunch of fields and dead scarecrows. Old dead ruined city. Nothing really alive. There seems to be a weird old hut, too, just kind of slap dab right in the middle of the old broken ruins. Not sure why, but it doesn't matter much with that green glow coming off the lair. Across the lake there, when they set that girl on fire, yeah, there's a circle of stones. They say her spirit haunts it. At night you can see lights a flashing from there, hear howling of a young girl crying. Can't say I heard it myself, but boy, that place puts the shits in you. If you're planning on heading there, I'd suggest not doing it in daytime. Not sure what's out there, but everything you want is going to be fast asleep at night. That's the way you're going to want to keep it. Folks say, though, you know, you're bound to find something you don't like in Barovia, especially down in them swamps. Insects, larvae, things getting in your skin. Ugh, not a fan of it. But those basilisk eggs, pretty penny. About 1,000 dragons. I said dragons. About 1,000 ravens a pop.
Hey guys, start. So, over the gas, pretty much just a matter of it stealthy or
I don't want to walk into that place making a big loud blast or getting attention on yourselves. I hear there's some old lady who lives there, you know, used to come up towards Valaki and give kids the old little sweets and stuff. She used to bake up some stuff. Haven't seen her in years, but can't be has to be dead at this point. I imagine if you stumble upon an old woman in the swamps, though, even in the dead of night, it'd scare the shite right out of you. But yeah, cool, quiet, and collect. You don't want any loose cannons down there. Like I said, you just see things moving out of the corner of your eye. Last thing you need is something giant mosquito or something just sucking on one of your friends' faces.
gas, poisonous, fighting, up to got it.
Mm. Uh, but the other point was pretty strong. Make sure you have a good deal of potions and whatnot. You're gonna need some things to cure well, poisons. There's a bunch of different diseases down there. Some say it's the plague. Not sure. Never really been infected past sipping the old bottle of something. With the little lass gone, I imagine it'd be harder to come by, but well, hell, you might as well try to figure that out too while you can.
If I'm lucky enough, my face alone can scare something off.
Maybe. I'd offer you something if I had it, but well, pretty dead at the moment. Business isn't looking too great ever since that old troll died in the west. Something's out there, scaring the hell out of hunters, and likewise those who are looking to traverse things. There's a, he kind of points towards the window. Inside here, there's a bit of a old knight and a vampire hunter, kind of chopping it up. Overheard a bit of their conversation. A vampire hunter seems to be looking for someone, but word has it she's on her way down to the swamp, catching up on the lead or something.
Wait, is that a vampire?
Yeah. By the looks of it, it's pretty skilled too. Don't see weapons like that on no fakers, not around these parts.
What color was her hair?
Think she's a blonde. Kind of like 'em like that. Aye, she's inside talking to some big armored guy. I imagine they wouldn't hate you so much if you asked them a bunch of questions like you're asking me. Might as well bother someone else, eh?
Yeah, problem is the person bothering my friend. Thanks
Uh,
for the information.
yeah, no worry. You have a good evening.
I'll see if I can put in a word and get you for your drink or something. Not too
I
much though.
appreciate it.
Don't need you causing a whole ruckus.
Ah, nothing much else to do than drink, he says as you leave him.
So, looking up to the table, I'm assuming I see Cassandra and Zeppela just talking.
You do. You could see a very animated Cassandra kind of slamming a dagger into the table and seemingly arguing with Zeppelin, who seems very, very calm. You note Zeppelin looking back at you. He does kind of a head nod towards you and goes back to just kind of listening to her rant a bit.
So, before I go over there, I'm gonna just walk over to Irwin and just kind of, I guess, just uh, walk up to him and go, um, hey, how long has the two over there in the corner talking been here? The guy in armor and the chick with the knives.
Mm. Well, hmm, can't say I've been keeping my eye on them or anything, but the old boy Zeppela, he's been here for maybe a day or two. Mm. Got here sometime in the morning. The lass, not sure who she is. Seen her once or twice before. Always giggling and flirting with Victorio. Not sure when she came in, actually. Don't remember seeing her. Hmm.
So, Goldar has a free drink on my name. You can just add that to the list of things I'm working off. Um,
I Go ahead.
and I'll guess I'll get 2 drinks for those two over there. So I have to talk to them.
Patting you on your shoulder, Erwin just kind of nods and looks into your eyes. Ah, you're a good one, Bennett. Try not to get in too much trouble, eh? Some of these folks are a bit rough. I'll go get on those drinks.
So that, go address them.
Cool. We're pretty much going to end the session, but I'm going to let you do the addressing thing. Go ahead. We'll just finish up with that and any questions anyone else has.
I'm
I'm
oh,
sorry. I
sorry.
was going to say, as you approach the table, you can see Zeppela kind of just almost fix his posture a bit. Ah, Bennett, it's good to see you again. He puts his arm out to shake your hand.
I guess I'll meet him halfway and shake his hand. How you been living, Zeppelin?
Well, after getting kicked out of Kretsk, you know, hitting the road again, thinking about my next move. Have to thank you all again for saving my life. Heading back out there, Argenvostold. Just trying to figure out what to do with no one left to head there with. He points across the table to a very perky Cassandra who's kind of looking up. Oh, I remember you, Masked Man. Zeppelin, would you introduce me properly? You can see Zeppelin nod. Very well. Cass, this is Bennett. Bennett, this is Cassandra Claremont. She's a vampire hunter. studying under the great Van Richten. Been looking for him for a while. You could see her kind of just roll her head a bit, removing her hood. Mm, we've met. Say, I think you owe me some money, actually.
Yeah. How much more of that do I have to pay off?
Hmm. Well, don't worry too much about it. But you know what I'll take instead of money? Information, if you have it. Heard any good rumors going about. Haven't seen any old guys walking around these parts lately, have you? Kane, kind of a spooky face. She kind of looks around your mask. I bet whatever's under that might look the same.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry to disappoint, but I'm not exactly an old man under here. So,
Mm. She shrugs a bit. Pity. And make my job easier. So, what brings you to the table? And as she says that, Danica approaches with their drinks. She kind of just puts the mugs down and looks at them and then towards you. These are on him. And with that, she puts a mug down for Bennett and kind of goes back to what she was doing. You can see Cassandra light up and grab her mug. Ho, thanks, pal. You owe me less after this. Zeppler also nods. Ah, refreshing. Thank you, Bennett. So anyway, what brings you over?
well, besides me usually working, party's stopping off. We had a bunch of stuff we have to get to doing tomorrow. Some of them are traveling more southward.
Oh, what's down south? You can see Cassandra kind of hanging on your every word.
Horizon, the temple. A place
Oh,
a lot of people have been telling us to stay away from, but some circumstances were kind of strapped, so we have to go down there.
you can see Zeppler kind of clearing his plate and moving it over. I understand that life. That's why I have to go back to Argenvostold. My father and, well, you know, the order. I have to do something. You can see Cassandra poking her finger at her drink a bit. I'm headed down there, the Berez, tomorrow. Although the hunters said that I should probably head over there at night, I figured, I'll go during the day, scout it out a bit, see what's going on.
Based off of what I heard from the hunters, the best time is to go at night. Usually you can get past a lot of stuff when they're taking their snooze.
She kind of nods. And no doubt, probably scout it from afar, go in at night, see what I can find. Been looking for Van Richten for a while now. Nothing seems to be working. Haven't really run into any leads. Stressing me out. You can see her taking a dagger out of her side and kind of flipping it up and down, just kind of looking at it. I'd really like to find him. Had a lot to ask him. Anyway, putting the dagger back, she just kind of looks up at you. What can we do for you?
Uh, Actually, I came up with some stuff. I remembered when we met at the crossroads, not too far west of here. You said you were looking for Van Richten, and I found someone. Not sure if it's Van Richten, but someone who's, I guess, in the same profession. Vampire hunting?
Out here, huh?
Yeah.
She kind of like contemplates a bit. Can't say there's another vampire hunter out here. I definitely know about it. The she kind of leans in. The keepers, she kind of eyes the table to the south of her here and whispers back. They keep me in the know. Definitely no vampire hunters out here but me. What's the name? Did you get any?
Esmeralda.
Mm, I've heard of her. Vistani, right?
Yep.
Wouldn't trust it. Can't trust a Vistani. Just saying. She's no vampire hunter. If she's looking for Van Richten, you best know she's looking for Strahd. I'd keep an eye on her if I found her again. Can't trust the Vistani. All they do is work for Strahd. You could see her kind of like nodding very surely of it herself. Uh,
Yeah, you know that whole the main issue with it. And as he like says this, he kind of like reaches his thumb under his mask, and you can hear kind of the little clacking, I guess, of a nail kind of hitting teeth as he thinks. Yeah. Problem is, this Vistani has saved me and my party like twice, so
she
can't really
just
say she's
nods
working for him.
and smiles at you a bit. Well, she kind of raises her hands. Far be it for me to, you know, throw any dirt in someone else's game, but remember, it was a Vasani who rescued Strahd that day. And ever since, he's been quite fond of him. Just a advice from me: you can't trust a Vistani. It's just not possible. With that being said, rather quickly, I note Danica looking towards Jotun uh, as she just kind of smiles and starts cleaning off some glasses. You can see her more or less just take interest. I don't know about any monkeys, but well, actually, hmm, uh, she kind of turns to her son and crouches down. Bre, you said Victavio, he was feeding a small baboon creature, no? You can see Bray kind of shaking his head. Yeah, ma, yeah, he has a monkey. It doesn't live with him though, upstairs. But I saw him walk off with it. He said it was the fat toy maker, his. You can see Danica kind of nod. Blinsky, call him Blinsky. He's not the fat toy maker. Turning back to Jotun, she just shakes her head. Apologies, my son. He's a bit brash, but Victavio would probably know something about that. Blinsky had a pet monkey of some sort that he was taking care of for him. Victavio, he's a traveling entertainer. He has all sorts of animals. She kind of crouches in towards Jotun. Some say he even has a tiger, but rumors, of course.
Tiger. Yeah, thanks. That really helps.
And she nods. No problem. He's actually, where is Victavio? You can see Irwin kind of walking back after serving drinks, passing Jotun. Victavio, he's upstairs in his room. Said he had a headache. Wanted to write, sir. Do something.
Sounds a bit out of character for him.
I agree. He's been up there all evening. With that, does anybody have any other questions per se?
No.
Actually, I was thinking of telling Zepla about Dory, at least what I know. Do you have enough time to do that, or?
It's up to you if you'd like to do it now.
Okay, yeah. Then, I guess seeing Ben at the corner of my eye walk towards this table, I spot Zepla. Uh, I make my way over. Wait 1 second.
Okay, I'll move your character for you. I'll randomly put these folks inside for next session.
Started to realize that my mic was picking up the click clacks of my keyboard.
Oh, it's cool. It's super not really noticeable versus like the crazy other noises we hear.
Sorry about that. Okay, so basically, seeing Zepla, I wave to him and say, Zepla, I missed you at Crest. There was something I needed to tell you. Uh, before, are you still looking for Doherty?
He kind of just shrugs his shoulders and nods. I am. Ever since she saved my life, I felt the need to
Hughes.
repay the little lady. I came here. They said she lived here, but over at the potion shop,
She's still
couldn't
missing.
find her. Hmm. I imagine last I saw of her was, well, with you all, that black puddle.
Yeah, we're still searching for her, but uh, since you're also looking for her, I thought that maybe you could help us, trade information of what you may know and what I may to help each other find my cousin. From what I've figured out, she's somewhere southward, Perez, I believe.
Hmm. Why would she go there? Seems quite confused.
Uh, it's something has to do with her power, how she casts her spells and magic. From what I understand, she's there to talk to someone, I believe.
I see, I see. Well, from what I know about her and sh- that thing on her, she certainly can hold her own.
Yeah. Uh, you know of that thing, the black snake.
Well,
Does he nod along or
he kind of nods. Way I remember, it was more of a giant spider, but indeed, indeed,
what exactly do you know of it?
seems to come out of a thing on her neck, tattoo or something, brand. When it happened, she just seemed like she was in a lot of pain, and then it crept out of her and transformed, and suddenly the pain went away. Her attitude shifted a bit, and she just started commanding it to do whatever she needed it to do. Simple as that.
And beyond that, you don't know of where it came from, or well, beyond that, she controls it, right?
Didn't know that's controlling her. Used it pretty quick. Snap of her finger, wink of her eye type of thing. Seemed almost too natural.
Um. Okay, nodding along, I say, well, if there's any information you come across regarding her, because we plan to head towards the south to find her. Uh, do be uh, could you share it perhaps before we leave?
He kind of just looks at you and nods. Anything I could do to help. Friends in need and whatnot. Uh, can't tell you too much about the South, though. Never been to that swampland, though. But pointing towards Cassandra, Zeppela continues. Uh, Cassandra's here. Cass is heading down there tomorrow morning to scout out the place. Says she's looking for her mentor, but more importantly, interested to see what all the hubbub's about. You know, old ruined city and whatnot. Been there just pretty much empty for 100 years or more.
Oh, okay. If you're looking towards Cassandra, if you're scouting it out, then maybe you could share what you find.
You can see Cassandra nod. A pleasure. Anything for a friend. Hey, don't you still owe me money? Did you die?
And I think you
Sorry,
muted yourself.
I'm
Yeah.
multitasking right now. People come ask me things. Hearing that, I say, kind of looking towards Bennett, I say, we'll we plan on paying you back.
She smiles and just, I'm just kidding. I already got this great drink here, and your friend over here said you guys are going to fill me in on some juicy rumors. Anyway, yeah, I'm heading out there tomorrow. Say, if you're planning on heading down there too, Come on by. I'll fill you in on anything I find, provided I don't get murdered. That's not funny.
Hearing that, oh,
Oh, you know, Mom Dukes is about that action.
all right. Sorry about that. All right. Hearing that, I say, you won't. I'm pretty sure you won't have nothing to worry about. You don't. You carry yourself as someone who's not weak. Uh, with that, I think I'll leave you all. I'll leave Bennett to uh, leave Bennett to fill you in on what we've found out here.
She kind of nods and smiles. Well, thanks for the compliment. Not sure it was a compliment, but that's what I'm taking it as.
Uh, I nod and just kind of walk my way back towards the bar. Uh, I guess eat, drink.
Hmm. And with that, I guess we'll end the session here.
Fine, Ogzanovich, German. Last novel. The letters or anything to go by. Not sure if she got them, but they're always a start. Temple might wear out. Coats might wear out. So again, it wasn't cold before, so you can only assume go in if heat was ever causing it, it would, I guess, defrost the probably running on guesses here, but Rock is on the bridge. Nest in there. Careful with that. The Gold Dragon Khan, not the elf that's socially awkward, is also there fighting the rocks. Let's we also have some demonic shit to fight.
I'm intrigued that two people's names are the same names as characters in this shit, and the characters were named before the people created their characters.
Yeah, it's some deja vu, but I think it's cool. I forgot, or I didn't really know that they were eating. I should have knew that before. I just wanted to like listen in to what the other people were talking about.
Certainly could have. What's the word? Uh, Surveyed the room, I guess.
Yeah, I should do that more often. So we can find Doherty and then poison time. Yeah, that sounds good. Hope you guys have a good night.
All right.
Alright. Uh, if she's not, she could be impressed with some kind of last bit of connection to St. Markovia. I think. Shaking. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something. They did. The note did say to disappear, so maybe she took it as like I'll disappear to Valakai, and then I guess stuff went wrong, or at least I can assume that's when stuff started being Valakai. So yeah, there's a chance, but
I could be wrong, so take whatever I say with salt.
yeah, yeah. Whenever I'm like saying all this, I'm always saying it with a spoonful or two of salt, because like I don't know anything like official. It's all just like, okay, this is what I gathered. It's always up for interpretation, even if we could be wrong. One thing I noted down was Perez had a dwarf. Well, dwarf. Perez was a dwarf civilization. swear English screws up like every 15 seconds. And they had a lot of corundum. One thing I was thinking of doing was like if we actually make it there, we can probably like snag some corundum, see if we can make something from it. I'm not sure if the blacksmiths around here would know how to work with it, but it's always worth a shot. Dora mentioned that she dropped a gold scale from the Dragon Con. So, chance we might run into that if we look around enough. The Red Dragon's Black Ember, so we know what to refer to him as when we try to talk to him and hopefully not have him blow up in our face. Lara is asleep under the Lake Tsarevich, and pretty sure we got a name for the blue dragon, right? Talked about this to other NPCs.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember the names of the other dragons. I could have swore I put the names. Let me search dragons real quick.
I remember I think we talked about it with some character, and I had it noted. I'm not sure if it's in this notebook or the other one. Like, stupid for a good bit and start swapping back and forth. It's never helpful when keeping notes.
Dragons don't really come up much in terms of nope. Trying to see, nothing really pops up. Thought I named all the dragons.
I remember they were named. Right.
Nah, I just went all the way back to Waterdeep. Nothing. Let's see. Nope. Shit, man. I named the dragons and I can't remember where I put the names. And that sucks. Let's see.
Oh, here it is. I had it on a dock. Red dragon's Black Ember, blue dragon was Voltaire, green was Celia, gold was Khan. We all know the iconic soap or Ark of Us.
Yeah, so the green one's Lara. Well, both names are actually accurate, but you just add that because that'll be confusing if you don't.
I don't know why I keep notes in like several different documents.
Yeah. You may want to them in like a universal one.
I think the reason for it was because like I had a few separate documents of like stuff Bennett would know before the game, and then stuff he finds out like during the game, and then I guess at some point I was just like, oh, okay, I'll just note them on either. Now I look back and I realize that was a massive mistake, keeping track of stuff.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Actually, what I need is a bit of clarification on is Lucian told me that Aslan at some point was an apprentice to his master, but I was under the impression she was actually an apprentice to Strahd.
Strahd doesn't have any apprentice.
Yeah.
She was Strahd's artificer, like chief scientist, basically.
Or stuff on the mountain of stuff that she's going to be bombarded with when we find her. A whole lot of questions. Only I had my hands. Yeah.
Got to prove yourself to Strahd there, homie. I need this small cat. Put the small cat.
We don't need a hand in that. I'm a shut up.
The fuck did I just do? Oh no, what did I just do? Oh, Samuel, come back there. Why are you smaller than everything else, Samuel? Because it's tiny. And the ravens are not tiny. Ravens are... Wait, why are ravens medium sized? Ravens shouldn't be medium sized, they should be small. Is Aurora small? Yeah, Aurora's small. Be the same size, right? Yeah, they're the exact same size. Okay, I'll just copy one of them. Alright, I'm gonna make this and I'm gonna be out. It's only 10:30 though. Maybe I'll play video games or some shit. 10:30. I'm about to go downstairs and do that stuff.
Alright.
Oh, I was talking to my dad.
Oh. Right.
What, the big one? Shit, if you want to set that thing out, great. I think you should break it down though. It's really big. Oh, I mean, I'll I'll break it down for you. I gotta finish making tokens and stuff. I actually have to do stuff. You guys are moving towards things that I haven't done completely yet. I just gotta finish off some NPC stuff. And then it'll be perfect.
I'll be right back out. Probably when I come back, I'll ask you stuff because I'm still trying to fully flesh out the war cleric.
Yeah, man.
All right. So with that, that's gonna be the end of this stream. You're staring at my browser. Probably just eat. There we go. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the stream. Thank you all for watching or spending time kind of looking over this. We've gone 50 episodes, which is weird. It's weird because in terms of progress, we made progress, but technically speaking, there is a good bit we have yet to actually do. I know for one, we haven't actually started like the main campaign. This is all like prologue, side quest stuff before we start chapter 1. So this is literally the equivalent to we just left Helgen before we go off and before we go to Riverwood. We're doing a bunch of the quest lines for the guilds and stuff. However you'd explain that. But yeah, a good amount of progress, I'd say. It was pretty good. There are some things that we have some theories about, but all around, hopefully they will be solved in due time. One of them is this Oslin Stoyanovich, which I'm personally kind of looking forward to meeting, just because there's going to be a whole lot of questions just being slung. Like, I feel like we're gonna have a good 3-hour session of us just asking questions, getting responses, figuring out stuff, putting stuff together. Because yeah, she has a really big role in a lot of stuff. So with that, we are gonna end it here. Thank you all for watching. We are going to go raid. I'm pretty sure he is live right now. Yes, he is. Me go raid Voodoo Ush. Friend, basically the godfather of this community. At this point, if you don't know him, you might have hit your head. Boo, very good friend, inspiration to a lot of people. He's kind, friendly. He's into the spooky games. And to be completely honest, it's because of him I might end up actually like playing Dead by Daylight with them one day eventually. It'll probably be like a random stream where I'm just like, hey, like on a Thursday or Friday, I'm gonna just jump on if I actually buy the game while it's still $20. So there's that. But yeah, let's go raid him, show him some love. Tomorrow we will be live with DKW. And that's kind of all I have to say, honestly. I'm looking forward to seeing you there, and we'll see some new faces as well. So I'm a bit hyped. Thank you all for watching. We'll see each and every one of you beautiful, beautiful people next time. Usually I just say goodbye here. I'm trying to think, do I actually have a thing where I say like goodbye in a certain way? But I'm gonna just start saying sayonara. I know it's cringy as shit, but what you gonna do? See ya. I misclicked.